Hail, hail, and welcome to the HomeBhoys Lay podcast. It is Friday, the 16th of August. I'm, of course, Joe McCann. We are back. It is a skeleton crew tonight so far. It is myself and the man whose on-screen name is The Big Raid, Marty Flynn.
You know.
Nobody raids Marty Flynn. You strap yourself in and feel the cheese. Isn't that right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And joined by a man who's dressed in the Primal Scream Palestinian Scream of Celtic top out there in Wisha, Jabo Higgins. What's happening?
How you doing, mate? All right, how's you?
All good. It is a Friday evening. We have a few babies in, and weather's decent, so things could not really be better. And we're here to have a good dissection of what's happened in the last week, and I'm sure there'll be one or two giggles along the way. No Scott McCory tonight. Where's he? Marty,
drunk.
He's off. I mean, where? But where? Big league.
I think he's in Germany.
I think he's in Germany. Scott's like
Croatia.
a drunk. Scott's like
Sorry,
a drunk.
you're right.
He's like a pisshead Jason Bourne. You know what part of fucking Europe he's going to turn up in? Oh my God, that's Scott McCory.
You just randomly sent us a photo that had Duke split game, and I says, fucking context McCory here, for fuck's sake. And I had no idea he was in Croatia.
He's like a girl alcoholic who just pops up drunk in places. You just be going, where the fuck's he now?
Fucking insane.
That's a gorilla with a U, by the way.
And the Liam Power is I don't know what Liam's out and about, is he?
No clue. It just was very vague. He was the things today. Some people to see. I don't know.
That's it. Busy body.
I'm just talking to you while I'm in the middle of doing a trying to share our stream to Twitter, because Twitter, you've got to pay Elon Musk a fucking pint of blood in the kidney apparently to fucking stream on his fucking platform.
No, to do, Elon. Fuck off.
Exactly.
So
So we just gonna post it. Now you can watch it on Twitch as well. I'll post a lot of it as well. Like, but fucking, I probably should have thought about this before.
Twitch? Is Twitch the other Twitter?
Twitch is like, hey, Twitch. Tell him.
Twitch used to be Justin TV. Do you remember Justin TV? That is a dirty, stupid hun bastard.
Which is where the HomeBhoys started on Justin TV.
Was it?
Yep. Me and Harper started Justin TV.
Back to your roots, then.
Going back to my roots.
Zipping up my boots.
So I'm just
You want me
sure
just to fucking sing a new song here or something until you get squared up or what?
I should have thought about this in fairness. Like, but this is the kind of professional.
You should have thought about a whole lot of fucking things.
I should have thought of my life before I fucking started this podcast.
Contemplated yourself.
Contemplating life here.
Here, I'll tell you what, Jason. There's a few times I come off the fucking HomeBhoys, contemplate my life. What the hell?
That's why you don't listen back, though.
Fucking
Liam just found out, after all the years, that's Liam just found out that we have a wee blather after the show finishes.
Here, some of them blathers finished at about 5:30 in the morning.
You hear the COVID ones? The COVID ones were unreal. The COVID ones, they were the ones that went to 4 in the morning.
Fucking hell.
I think at one point I passed out.
You did? You were sitting sleeping on the fucking hinger one day. We just turned it off.
Thank God the backstage conversations aren't recorded. That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
The implications. Right, that's us. All our post up. If you who was it said last week? Scott said you can actually watch it on Twitch and you can push the kind of thing aside, just lose your phone and still listen to it without having to have the actual thing on like YouTube. So that's that one just cleared up. And we are off to the races. So start off with the match. Well, my list, Marty. Look at this. Let me show you something. Let me show you.
Joe.
Hang on. Right.
Don't be showing me. I'm turned off.
Not only do I have a list, I have a notebook.
Ooh.
Man's got a notebook and a pen inside. Like I mean, now in fairness, now only one page has scribbles on it, right? And it just says Celtic and then big laugh at the bottom and then Huns, right? but it's a fucking start. I mean, so it's a start. Things can only get better. I mean,
New season, new notebook.
Exactly. So here we go. The man who was on the ground, I suppose, for Hibs, 2-0 win against Hibs at the weekend. That's where we start. How did that feel? Good day out.
What a day! Oh man, fucking hell! HomeBhoys Twitter done the good deed as well after the game. But
what was that? What was it?
The jacket.
We'll get there.
Oh
we'll
yes,
yes. Aye. So my mate Jerry, he drove. So me and Mick, Magoo and wee Stephen went up in the car. And Jerry, he was got to work straight after it. So me and Mick were staying in Edinburgh anyway. So we went and met a couple of my mates, their Hibs supporters, met them. Knowing the Hibs club, we went to an Arboozer and had a few drinks with them and arranged to meet them after the game. So we went down into the game. The game was outstanding. Fucking hell. First half, man. Celtic were kind of amazing. And it was just a treat to watch. And McGregor, oh my God. Just, he's got that in his locker. What a fucking goal it was. And just overall play, it was. He didn't know if Hibs were bad or we were excellent, but it should have been a hell of a lot better than 2-0. But I'm totally delighted at the way they're playing, and there's a right cohesion about the team. And another week with Matt O'Reilly, how long that's going to last for, who knows? But just a pleasure to watch the kid playing with us at the minute. But it was fantastic. What a performance! Sun was shining, Celtic end was in full voice, and it was absolutely fantastic. Brilliant game. And kind of took the foot off the gas a wee bit. But Hibs come into it a little bit, I don't know. But some of that football in the first half, just the quickness of play, and Kuhn he's looking like an absolute diamond. He's just, whether it was that toothache last year or whatever, but he's looking like a different player altogether. He's looking absolutely outstanding. And one thing, I thought Big Scales had a good game, right? But he done one thing, he got the ball right, and he made a mess of it, and he fucking passed it to one of them, and it ended up a bit of chaos. And see the fucking grief he was getting after everybody. But when you watch him for the rest of the game, he was actually quite assured and solid. But it's just one of these things. So obviously a couple of hairy moments as well with Kyogo going down again, and then you're fucking panicking. You're like, what is going on here? And then they bring on the blessed Mikey Johnson, which we thought that experiment had well passed its sell-by date. Hopefully with the signing of Big Idah, maybe we'll get another in, and maybe Mikey can get a move somewhere, but he's definitely not the answer. But no complaints whatsoever. I thought they were great, and I was delighted for McGregor getting his goal. And I just thought Celtic were absolutely fantastic, and just I don't know how it wasn't more than 2-0. Played great.
And that yellow kit looks fucking outstanding.
It looks all right. I'm not mad in any of the kits, to be honest with you. I'm not, but it's all right. It's all right. I don't really care about them, to be perfectly honest, but I'm not really. See that swooshing down through the shops and all that? I'm like, get that in the fucking bin.
You don't like? I like that. You like that?
Nah, I think it's shit.
Here. If you don't like a Celtic strip, hang about for 6 months. Fucking
exactly.
Another one on the fucking way.
Nah, everything you said is right. I mean, some of the football in the first half was outstanding. I mean, it was just unreal. Kuhn, definitely have a lot of hope for him. Definitely hope nothing bad happens. I mean, because he looks. I mean, see that kind of coming across the box, and he's really good at that kind of looking like he's going to shoot but not shooting, and then being able to move that quickly. See once he actually gets space to fucking work that, and that actually becomes this. Like, I reckon there's more to come from the way he does that, because he gets blocked off a lot, because he's kind of going. He's in that game he was going across the pack box trying to find space to take a shot, and it fucking wasn't. You know what I mean? And for all that work, you don't get a lot out of it. But I reckon at some point he's going to fucking nail that. You know what I mean? And it's going to become what he does.
He's kind of got an overall confidence now. You can actually see it. He's just buzzing when he gets the ball at his feet, and he is looking a little bit like Jota did. It's that kind of glide, different type player, but similar in senses. He's got that way. He kind of can glide with the ball. I think he's going to be a player and a half. I do.
It's players like that though that the likes of your Chatters and the likes of sort of how he looks is it has defenders second guessing whether they should win or not, because you know, he kind of has that lightness with the ball. It's right in front of him. You know what I mean, and he's fucking moving. I mean, and like, the defenders are like, should or shouldn't they? I mean, and that gives him, and because they have that speed, it gives him the hand to kind of move around and go, right, well, I'll do what I want then.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. No, it's great to see. Great to see, and I still don't think we're firing on all cylinders. You know, I think they're playing really good football, but I think there's more to come for this team, and hopefully we got a couple of signings in that can complement it. But no complaints. And the way the season started, we've kind of started excellently, and that was a potential banana skin. You know, Rodgers' record up there is probably his worst away ground in the league, and every season Hibs take points off us. You know, so it was great to get a clean sheet as well. Clean sheet, and then perfect. So you talk more about the game, Martin, whatever. Then I'll give you the wee story about after it. It was class.
Well, I didn't see the game. So
you were playing.
I literally touched down at full time and fucking turned the phone straight on to get the result and punched the fucking air. Like, yes.
That's right. I remember now. You were flying at the same time.
Well, that's gonna be a short podcast then. Fuck me.
Well, that's the highlights. Like, look, all right. Me and Scott have a mate who's a torn face cuts, always moaning me. He's fucking on that WhatsApp right away, crying like fuck. But I watched the highlights. He was complaining about the second half with not killing Hibs off and all this sort of stuff. But I looked at the fucking stats. I was like, what the fuck? And there was like, they had no shots at all, and fucking Celtic at 75% possession. You know what I mean? So it must have been like a fucking a 2-0 murder match. What the fuck?
Not that I got agree with this criticism, but like towards the end of the game, it did get a bit sluggish. Like, but I mean, party is going like, is that fatigue or is that just going like, hey, this game's fucking won? These cunts are shit.
Well,
I'm telling you, I can't wait to see what Casper Schmeichel's got to offer, because he's done the fucking square goal for the start of the season.
He's making Joe Hart going, you're fucking right, this is a fucking gift.
He'd be fucking, what do you call that? No, just bring him out for pre-season.
Long may it continue.
Right.
You know. Aye,
so look, I don't think anybody can complain. 6 points, no goals conceded, fucking cup match on Sunday, fucking hell, against the same team. So
I know
you'd be expecting. We've definitely had fucking worse starts this season. Fuck, we had a worse start this season last year.
Tell me something. Why is our game on a Sunday? Right, it's not. I take it it's not going to be live on the TV, or is it? 3 o'clock on a Sunday, and Hibs weren't playing in Europe. So what was
the Huns are playing the Mara. Their cup matches tomorrow.
Aye. Right, okay, they're at home, right, so the two can't be at home at the same time, same city.
Maybe
right, okay.
There should be an asterisk next to every Huns at home fucking statement to the main.
Glasgow strangers.
Aye. We'll keep. We don't normally mention them much, but it's
going to be hard to avoid.
It's going to be hard to avoid this week.
Aye. So, right. So after the game, right, so we arranged to meet my mate, a couple of the Hibs boys in the Middletons. As you're walking down Easter Road, it's that last pub on the left-hand side before you turn right, to go over the bridge. So it's that one there. So we goes in, and it's like, I don't know, 50-50 or maybe 60% Celtic supporters that's kind of finishing their drink, obviously going to get their buses. So we went in, it's roasting outside, it's warm in there. So my mate had a table, he's got a table over there, right? So he goes up and gets a drink, sits down, and I sat down and I moved this jacket from behind me, just like a wee light jacket. And I turned around to the boys, I was like, is that your jacket? They're like, no, it's not mine. So I'm like, fuck, somebody's left their jacket here. And I shouted at folk standing at the bar, is this your jacket? They're like, no. So I felt the pockets and fucking I could feel keys and like a bank card or whatever. So I says, fuck it. So I goes into the pocket, pulls out a driving licence, set of keys, a bank card, 40 odd quid. And I'm like, fuck this. I've looked, the Hibs boys are like, get the fucking beers on. Right. So I looked in the driving licence and I just seen Glasgow on it, and I was a young guy, so I was fucking looked about 18 or whatever. I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I was saying to Celtic fans going out, shouting the boy's name, are any use him, are any use with him? They're like, no. Guys like, put it behind the bar. I'm like, fuck that, putting it behind the bar. Half the pubs when they've opened during the week or anything, you know. And so I thought, well, the HomeBhoys Twitter's got about 20,000 followers. I says, right, and I've got this new phone, so the photo I took was fucking horrendous. It was like some sort of half video, half photo. But so I stuck it on and just says, fucking, I've got the boy's jacket, and then I don't know, it was an hour later or something, his mate contacted the Twitter account and says, it's my pal. So I woke up the next morning and I fucking forgot all about it because we were out in the Swally all day in Edinburgh, and then trains out of the tune and back home. So I woke up the next day and I kind of forgot all about it, and I just remembered, I've got that jacket. And by the way, just as well, it was a wee Kagul thing because I could fit it into the pocket of mine. See if it was like a fucking heavier jacket, I'd have lost it. I'd have took it to an pub and left it there. But it was no chance to get it back. So the guy sent on Twitter, sent his mobile number. So I text the boy in the Monday morning, and they get back to me straight away. He says, oh, cheers, mate, thank you. He says, where do you stay? Tell me where I stayed. He's like, I says, well, I'm working in the tin today. I says, I could bring it in, He's like, no, come and get it. So, that night, the Monday night, just finished my dinner, just come into work, and next thing, the car pulled up. The wee guy came to the door, but his dad gave him a lift. And his dad pulled the window down. His dad's like, mate, thanks a million, fucking one of a kind. He says, just, you know, he's lucky you found it. I says, oh, don't worry, the wee guy was all sheepy. He's all mad, busting it through him. Yeah, fucking idiot. You know what I mean? The guys like, thanks, pal, thanks. So we would head into the car and that. So he's all man shouting at the window, thanks a lot, mate, much appreciated. But you just fucking, you do your bit, don't you? So just thankfully got it back to him. So, but it just shows you the power of Twitter, you know, if you got a lot of the Celtic followers and that, you just stick it on there. And within an hour and that, it was kind of, the riddle was solved and the jacket got back to him. So,
and that's good because, like, lately Twitter's a fucking cesspool of fucking constantly being angry and shooting at each other.
Twitter is, I just look on it and all I get is right wing shit coming up all the time.
I don't know why I'm getting that too.
Everybody's the fucking same.
Aye, nonsense.
I'm glad now because I know I was in the chat advocating, going, "Fuck him, stick his coat in the raffle." but no, it's good. It's good to hit. You fucking, can you imagine though, like the trip up going, like, "You're a fucking stupid cunt." The trip back going, "You're a lucky cunt now."
Do you know the thing as well? See, because it was roasting outside, so he must have had like shorts and t-shirt on. There was a wee thin jacket. It's easy done. Do you know what I mean? When it's boiling, you're just no thinking you've got a bloody jacket away because it was fucking some day. It was beautiful. Sun was splitting the trees, so he's obviously
he's the better where it's supposed to fucking be.
A couple of pints too many. And the thing is, as well, the amount of Celtic fans that didn't have tickets that would have been in there. So I don't know whether he was at the game or whether he was watching it in that pub because the pub was absolutely rammed with Celtic supporters and we get into it. You know, and they had been there for a while, so there must have been there was loads of Celtic fans up and down Easter Road that obviously just went up with the tickets. And talking to the Hibs fans about that, about the reduced allocation, they reckon it's because of the trouble they have with Rangers.
Did you not listen?
Corners.
Did you listen to Scott's one-on-one with Mark?
No, yet.
I haven't heard it yet. No.
I need to listen.
Well, first of all, it's fucking excellent as usual, and a really, really good chat. But there's a whole big chunk towards the end where that comes up. So Mark said that, he says, "Look, you're suffering from the two cheeks of the same arse syndrome, but," he says, "it's not all on Rangers." He says, "Rangers are by far the worst." He says, "But your own fans have to look at themselves too." He says, "The doubling up issue is serious." He says, and he says, like, I was where he sits in Easter Road, he can see our end, and he says the whole top tier was completely full. There was no seats whatsoever. So obviously that allocation had been sorted out. He says, and then when you look at the ultras, your ultra section, all the fucking stairwells are packed. So there's clearly too many people have managed to get into the ground. He says, and what they'll do is they'll just keep chopping away at your allocation for stuff like that. He says, like, don't get me wrong, he was scathing about Rangers. He fucking hates Rangers, you know yourself. But there was a couple of home fucking truths that some of our fans will be wanting to listen to in it as well. So if you haven't listened to the Room 101 with Scott McCurry and Mark Strachan, the Hibs fan, go and fucking listen to it. You've got about 48 hours before the match or whatever, 36 hours.
I'll listen to them tomorrow when I'm out with the talk. I met Mark after the game. He came into the pub, him and his son came into the pub and got a pint. Good lad, man. I've got a lot of time for Mark.
Oh, brilliant fella. Brilliant.
And he was going to help me because I didn't have a ticket to a couple of days before the game, and I would have went in there then, so he would have kind of helped sort me out for a ticket or whatever. But
am I the one thinking like the cutting the allocation because of that is counterproductive?
Well, that's his point is that it without doubt it cost Hibs money, but he says they're doing it to Rangers too, and he says the Rangers are by far the worst. He says they're worse for throwing flares and whatever else, and he says it just has to happen. He says it's as simple as that. It's not safe. And he mentioned the songs. He says, like, your songs don't bother me, but they bother some of the fans. So there's a bit of that as well. Oh, fucking know their behaviour. There's songs they sing about the IRA and whatever else. So he says some of that too is, but he says Rangers are by far the worst because they bring fighting. Do you know what I mean? They organise fights and stuff outside the ground. So there's a whole different level of policing and stewarding needed for their games. He says, but at the same time too, users suffering as well because of that too. That's part of the reason. You know, so as I say, I go and have a listen to it. It's really good. You know, Mark's a smart fucking fella, you know what I mean? And he's well in with all them, like the powers that be at Hibs and stuff. He knows them all. So he's on Hibs bounce and whatever else. So he knows it inside out. So I would advise people to have a listen. Scott was making fun because he says it's harder to do in our fucking turnstiles because like fat people can't even get through them, you know, at home. Where he says,
I can testify to that, Marty. I can testify to that.
Well, that's what Scott said. Our fucking our turnstiles are well designed.
I mean, I'm a fucking ball hair away from going through the disabled door. I mean,
well, that's what Scott and that's what Mark was saying. Like a club like Hibs does not have the money to redesign their fucking turnstiles. Do you know what I mean? To make it so therefore it falls to stewarding and it falls to actual fan kind of self-policing and good behaviour. So as I say, go listen. It was a big chunk of the programme. You see everything. Very, very interesting listen.
Well done indeed.
It sounds like
well done indeed.
They're classing it as an old firm problem.
No, they are. Mark was adamant about that, but he was also adamant that we were by far the lesser of the two evils. You know, it's definitely more aimed at Rangers, and he says that Rangers would probably be getting, if they could get away with kind of giving Rangers an even bigger cut to their allocation without doing it to us, they probably would. He says, but again, there's other ones in the club.
But how can they know? It's up to them.
Why don't
they just cut them and no cut us?
Because his argument was that there's people in the club who lump the two of us in together. And he outlines it all. So as I say, look, I'm probably doing it.
I get that. Like, I understand. Like, but
this is only like the fucking highlight version. As I say, I've been on for ages. It was a really good chat.
I know, but on a logical level, you hit yourself. Like, I mean, sometimes if you're being penalized for something that you're really not possibly doing, right? At some point, the thinking becomes like, well, you may as well get hung for a sheep as for a lamb. You know what I mean? You may as well go balls out.
But his point is we are like the things that you overcrowding, we are doing. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he was saying. Until that stops, you know, they're just going to keep cutting the allocation because what they'll do is close turnstiles all together and focus their stewarding on the rest of the turnstiles to stop it.
Well, you know? let me tell you something, right? There's very few people double clicking into Easter Road, right? But what there is, and it stopped at the weekend there because there's doors at the top tier that you can open and just walk down to the bottom tier. Right, but they were all stewarded at the weekend, so you couldn't get done. So if they just kept the allocation the same, and I think John Paul Taylor said, I don't know whether it was true or not, but we did go in a right turnstile and we were at the top tier. They'd said that your ticket will only work in the turnstile allocated where your seat is. So effectively, if that was the case, and they had the stewards up the stairs stopping people going through the doors, you wouldn't have had the overcrowding. Because that's how it happened. It's no people double clicking. It's people that get tickets for the top going down the bottom so they want to be in with
But his point was that both the top tier and the bottom tier were full.
No. Marty, I go to every game, and the top tier is nowhere near. I mean, it wasn't even full at the weekend there, so some must have got done.
As I say, I can only tell you what he said. It was until last night. So if that's the case, that's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Totally fair enough.
I don't think. Well, see,
I don't know how many times I've been to Easter Road. I must have been to Easter Road a dozen times. Once you usually do ticket checks and stuff before you came across the wee bridges and stuff like that. So didn't I? I'm sure I got stopped.
Aye.
I'm sure I got stopped for a ticket check the last time I was at Easter Road, which was a couple of years ago.
The way they police it now is you get through like a cordon and you need to show your ticket. You kind of get by those metal gates.
Yes.
So there's very few that you'd maybe have a couple of dozen or whatever that can manage to sneak in, but there wouldn't be hundreds upon hundreds of double clicking. It just wouldn't be possible the way they police it.
I thought. I definitely thought when I was listening to it, I'm sure. Now I was drunk, but I'm sure I got huggled and asked for my ticket.
Yeah,
you definitely
do.
So anyway, it's like I don't know if it's going to change, like the constant fucking. I think it was like 600 seats less. You know what I mean? And that's what he was saying. Like that.
I mean,
whatever.
The thing is as well,
£30 a fucking ticket. Like.
Exactly. And it's like, that's fucking what? That's 18 grand.
Some of a couple of players' fucking wages for the week covered. But anyway, that is what it is.
I mean, 18 grand times. I mean, if they finish in the top 6, 18 grand times 4. That's what they're pissing against the wall.
90 grand or 70 grand. Yeah. Yep.
A lot of money. Oh, I just checking the chat there. A big Tambo for the New York Union boys. There he's there. How you doing, Thomas, son?
That's the power of multi-streaming. We've got YouTube, we got Twitch, we got Facebook. One thing we haven't got is that Elon Musk cunts fucking Twitter, and we'll have Instagram soon as well. You'll get us on Instagram as well soon. We're fucking worldwide, HomeBhoys worldwide, baby.
That's it, taking over.
Right, Tanny.
There we go. But it's and then they spoke about it last week. Fucking Kilmarnock. One of the boys says he was pissing himself at the comment I made. I said Kilmarnock have got the safest standing in Scotland because there's no fucking cunt in it. Do you know what I mean? But like they've cut their allocation to one stand. That other one is talk about sparse. I mean, count the people.
Like they used to give us 8,000 tickets. They used to give us 8,000, and still like I've said it here. Fucking there was many a time I had to go into the home end in Kilmarnock because I couldn't get a fucking ticket for either the Chadwick or the fucking Moffat. So they were getting money off me all roads. Nuts. I know. Fucking nuts.
But it is getting to the stage. I mean, a lot of the young team go without tickets and whatever. But it is getting to the stage that a lot of the old timers, that a lot of people are getting fed up with the hassle. It's every weekend or every second weekend you're begging, stealing, and borrowing.
Even apart from general hassle of the tickets, even like supporters clubs are fucking struggling because they can't get enough, tickets to run a bus, and the bus prices are through the fucking roof too.
Right to the roof. Fucking the Huns ticket to upgrade for the Huns ticket for a kids ticket is now £57.50. It was 52. It was 52 quid. I think about last year.
£57.50 for a game in Scotland. Honestly, it's unreal. It's unreal. Did you see that wee video of the Man City supporter talking about how much money he spent following Man City last year?
No,
I'll share it with you.
Do they subsidise it?
Well, his season ticket's at 400 quid. And he was talking about he went to like 6 away European games. I think he went to 8 in total because he went to the finals, but he went to like 6 group games or whatever, or earlier rounds. And he says, total flight spent £600. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, see his total spend for the season, and he went to like 15 or 16 away games. His total spend for the season was about £3,600. I fucking spend that in the pub.
He doesn't. He clearly doesn't drink though. Table.
It was Magoo. Sent to Magoo. Says, "Well, but that's fucking rocket. You're doing something wrong here."
He's bringing a packed lunch in a thermos, for fuck's sake.
Aye.
Fucking $3,000 wouldn't buy him a McGuire carry it. Fuck's sake.
Oh,
$3,000 wouldn't fill the can coat.
Fuck's sake, $3,000 before you get. That's before you get on the bus.
Exactly. Fuck that hell.
Oh, Jesus, man. Aye, so that's the wee guy. I'll send you the video. I'll send it, but aye, fucking hell, madness. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, you get Man City tickets are cheap as chips, you know. But these away games, and I was laughing because, mind you, posted that thing about the average Premier League fan, about the spend and all that. This wee guy's kind of blowing up that right out of the water, you know. But
That's right.
aye, brutal. So we think Big Adam Idah back. So
I love the social media fucking build up to it. That was brilliant.
And another punch in the air for the Irish language. He was welcome back to Scotland in Gaelic. God bless Celtic.
And I like to think we had a wee small part to play in that sort
of thing.
Well,
I think so, Joseph. And Changa Bia, the language lives.
I mean, we did share all of the stats from the Liam Scale fucking tweet, and nobody got back on it, but I think about that well.
500,000 thanks. But see if you go on that tweet and click on the quote tweets.
Aye.
No way you can retweet it, but you can quote tweet it. Look at the amount of quote tweets of all people speaking Irish. Smashing.
Brilliant.
Which, in fact, before I go any further, is an Irish word. Smashing. Did you know that?
Did you? No.
Smashing. It's only like fucking bullseye. Great super smashing. Smashing is Irish. It's my shin means that's great. Smashing.
All right.
There you go. Here, can we reveal to the listeners that you torture an Ulster Scots page on Facebook?
Here, I swear to fuck.
You make me laugh every day.
It's fucking brilliant.
Right, Joe, you know this, right? So there's two types of people in Belfast if they're like a wee dick, right? And both words begin with G. And I'm going to say the first one. I want you to say the second one because you'll fucking know it, right? So the first one is a ganch, and the second one is a.
I don't know.
Do you remember? When we were kids, close. A ganch and a glate. Right?
Say again, right? I didn't hear the first bit of that.
Right. The first one.
I always remember ganch. I still use ganch.
So see if you're a ganch, it means you're like a big stupid cunt. He's a fucking ganch, right? Or somebody does
love that word.
It means you're a fucking ganch. But there's another one it's a glipe, Glipe, and it means kind of fucking sneaky. You know, you're like a wee sneeze, a fucking glipe. Him or sneaky but stupid.
Well, we use the word a clipe. That means somebody that tells on somebody.
Yes, exactly. That's very similar. They put it up today. The Ulster Scots Society had it up today. Gape, Gype, and every cunt coming in going, it's fucking glape. You can't even spell. You have made up language and you can't even make it up right. You fucking dick.
Okay. Ulster language is a new version of Esperanto.
I swear to fuck. Here, and I had it on the other day. Break. B-R-E-K or something like that. And then it just had English break underneath it. To break.
It's unreal. I love the word ganch, but then again, I remember a few lads' nicknames just being ganch.
It's just Ganch Gardner was in fucking Grange Hill. Do you remember? For those old enough to remember Ganch Gardner.
See, as soon as MD mentions Ulster Scotch, all I think about is it Portabogie. Like the guy, was it the Nolan show he was on or something?
Aye. I'm going to give you some Portabogie. Fucking Ulster Scots.
And Nolan says, well, can you give me some? Can you speak some of it? No,
I couldn't do it for you. I couldn't do that there for you. So I couldn't.
It's amazing how they've gone, like, you know what? We've a dialect. That passes as a language. Let's go.
Portabogie. Port and Vogie. The fucking port of the bog. Like, that's Irish too. And they're going, I live in Portabogie. It's the heart of Ulster Scots. You go, it's fucking Irish. You stupid cunt.
Did you not take them down on our rabbit hole with the Italian for poke?
I told him that. Poke and ice cream. P-O-K-E. And I was going, that's Italian. You fucking stupid cunt. And they were going, no, it's from the Scottish Poco or something. And I was going, no, it's not. It's fucking not. It comes from the Italian word for a small one, poco, which is what you give children, a fucking small ice cream, a small poke,
And that,
a poke.
and it was a pokey hat, we called it here.
Yes.
So it was all Italians at the ice cream vans here.
Exactly. I was just going to say, and who made the ice cream? The fucking Italians.
They're fucking
Yeah.
Italians. And they were arguing me black was white, and I was going, no, I'm going to fucking lose a will to live here. We constantly. Do you know what I mean?
Every time you put it up, I'm like, I'm glad. It's almost it's a vocation now, Marty, at this stage.
A disabled child is a dafty Wayne. That's what they call a disabled child.
A what?
Jason.
A dafty Wayne.
A dafty Wayne is a disabled child.
Oh my God almighty.
Right? I swear to fuck. And you know what? Here. And do you know what a gay man is?
What?
A big Jesse.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
A big Jesse
is Ulster Scots for a gay man. A big
Oh
Jesse.
my God almighty.
A dafty Wayne for disabled child might be the most offensive thing.
I know. Fucking daft. A wee dafty Wayne.
They're actually just taking slang words for Scottish, English, whatever, and making it that it's a language for them.
Of course it is. That's exactly. It's a fucking. It's a dialect of English, which is fine. But don't be telling me it's a separate language because I'm actually fluent in it.
But
I didn't go to school to learn it.
Does it not speak to the insular nature of like fucking unionism, Protestantism in the north? That it's like.
No, Protestants who think it's balls.
I know, but I mean the mindset that thinks, okay, this is a language. Is that insular going like, well, if we all use it together and nobody else uses it, it must be a language then.
It's a stick to fucking beat the Irish language. That's what they use it for. Oh, we need the money for this other one because fuck your one. But I remember I worked with a guy who was fucking well got with all of them, right? And Lord Laird of Artie Garvin. He's dead now. Lucky Laird. He was the man behind the Ulster Scots movement. Fucking, he was a lord in the fucking in the House of Commons and that House of Lords down there, and he was from a place called Artie Garvin, which is outside Strabane, right? And so was this other cunt I knew, and Logie Laird fucking grabbed him one day and they say, you're from Artie Garvin. He went, what? He says, that's the heart of Ulster Scots. You should be speaking and using your Ulster Scots. And this other guy turned around and went, Logie, my ma beat fucking Ulster Scots out of me when I was 2 years old because it wasn't proper fucking English. She battered it out of me. What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking head case? And he was like a real staunch prod. No, they don't believe in it. Sure, they fucking changed the fucking the street signs up in Dundonald, the Ulster Scots, and they burnt them because they thought it was Irish. That's what you're dealing with. What the fuck? And then I was working in a place years ago.
Fucking whole thing's stuck on the drain, isn't it? That's brilliant.
I was working in a fucking place years ago. And it was a place, it was like an arty fucking place, and they used to do these entrance fucking things for housing estates. Not the front of your housing estate, they used to put a big rock or fucking something, try to make a fucking place look nice. But this one anyway was in the all this art stuff, so she used to put all these fucking arty farty things. Every cunt hated them. So she did one for Clonduff, which is like a real fucking unionist area. It's where they put this new fucking Irish school round the corner from it.
Right.
And I remember looking at the fucking pictures of the thing going, what the fuck is that? And she says, oh, that's Clonduff. That's the Ulster Scots for Clonduff. And I says, what the fuck does it say? And she says, Kyfield, Kyefeel. And I went, what the fuck's Kyfield? And she went, Kyfield. And I went, what? I actually said it. Who told you that?
Kyfield.
Wait a hear. It gets worse. It gets worse. Right? She says it comes from the Irish for Clonduff. And I said, no, it doesn't. And she says, it does. And I says, tell me who told you this, because it's complete balls. It's lies. And she went, no, we checked it out. We got it all fucking thinged out. Clonduff, and that's Kyfield in Irish. I says, Ky in Irish is fucking baw for a start, and fucking field is Clun. In the same way Clun Ard is Highfield. So fucking Clun baw will be Kyfield. Where did you get this from? And she hadn't a fucking clue. I was going, what? You are just making this fucking nonsense up. Not only did they make it up, they spent about 50 grand putting it at the front of the fucking estate in a big wall with a big fence room. Nuts.
And it now says Kyfield.
Kyfield. And that means Kyfield in Ulster Scots.
Do you know what? That's distressing and wonderful at the same time.
They're fucking crazy. It's hilarious. Like, so I just torture them every day. They put something stupid up and I go and go, what the fuck?
It is. It's one of the highlights of our homeboys chat with Marty fucking just.
But like arguing that Pogo was
eviscerates every single word that comes up on that fucking Facebook page.
I mean, come on, the fuck, like
Kai Field, because I can imagine somebody from fucking like rural Antrim saying it like that. Maybe I mean,
there's a car in the field.
Kai Field.
There's a car in the field.
Kai Field.
Fucking hell, man. Nuts. Fucking nuts. How do we get on this shit? That's you.
Fuck knows where this podcast goes. We're joined by a man from the US of A. Am I correct, Jebo?
Yeah, lads. How you doing?
He's no fair the US of A, so if I can come on all. But
you sound like you're underwater. Jason, you sound like you're underwater, mate.
There?
To me, it's just weird. Everyone else sounds fine. You're sounding a weird, like,
That's right? Can you
Marty, that's where we like it. Right? Don't be telling him that.
He'll fall asleep standing up soon enough.
It does sound a bit muffled, but if you take your AirPods out, will it echo? Do you think?
But then Linda will crack up because she'll be able to hear you.
Well, then you know what? Let us power forward.
That's a fucking fate worse than death, isn't it?
You know what? Last thing we want is another fucking Linda Higgins cameo that goes off the rails. You know what I mean?
How's things, Marty boy?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. We had an earthquake here on Monday afternoon, which is pretty fucking terrifying, to be honest.
Really? You're joking?
No, it was I've been in a few when I've been here, but I've never had one that's been the epicenter was in the area I live, and I was working from home, and I honestly fucking shat myself. Where
are you, Marty?
East side, Highland Park, on that side of the city. Just beside Pasadena. I'm right beside Pasadena.
Because my family are from San Francisco in a wee place called Albany. They would get there and rumble like.
It was only like a 4.8 or something, but because it was epicenter, it felt, and it was only like 10 seconds max. But the whole house where I was sitting working, I could see the walls just go.
Here, do you know what? That can go and fuck itself, Marty. No hand, really. What the fuck?
Marty, that sounds like
that's
like an out of body experience.
Well, very honest with you. It's weird. It feels like you're drunk. Like it feels like you're pretty drunk for a few minutes, right? For a few seconds, you just feel like you kind of spin because the whole ground proper like shake. I ran outside. I don't know why. I just ran outside to see. My neighbours were running outside as well.
I was going to fucking say it. Your neighbours aren't bad judges. Fuck me.
But my daughter's school, she got evacuated, but it just like their building just was shaking. The kids were all fine and stuff. But for that 10 seconds, I thought it was over.
Was there any damage, Marty?
No, any damage. No, it was only 4.8, so it wasn't enough to really cause any damage. It's just the reason this one was different is because the epicenter was in my neighbourhood. Usually. The last one there's been 3 in the last 3 weeks actually, maybe a 5.1, but they were up north or out in the ocean, and you only get like a little few minute shake. But it's a scary thing.
See the funny thing, I was talking about this last week, right? Because there's a lassie in my team, she's Bulgarian, right? And they get earthquakes in Bulgaria, and she actually told me they get taught it at school. So see when they're at school, see when they're kids. They all go through like safety things in the event of earthquake. This is what you do, under a table, get into the kitchen, in the bath, stuff like that. She says that we're all taught that to an early age, what you do when you get an earthquake. And she says she's maybe had about 10 in her life. She says they've been pretty not viciously scary. She says, but scary enough. But she says we're all taught, everybody knows the protocols, and I suppose running outside is maybe worrying me.
Well, you're supposed to go under a doorway or under a
cable or something.
Aye, and the weird thing was as well, the night before, I'm up in this big hill, and it's got like a big hiking trail and all that behind it. So there was a fire on the hiking trail, an 8-acre fire. So it was like that was Sunday. And we are also right beside where the LAFD come and fill up the helicopters with water for fires. So the helicopters, in my backyard, you could just see them every 5 seconds, boom, down, getting the water, putting them on the fire. It took about 3 hours to put it out. But
Marty, is your town trying to kill you?
I was just going to say, Marty, are you living in the Old Testament? Fucking fires and earthquakes? What the fuck?
Me too, I've been pretty lucky the times I lived here. I think after I moved here from New York, just before that, there was a lot of really bad fires. and they happen all over the camp. Like they're pretty regular here. But the fire brigade are pretty good. They get the majority of them put out pretty quick.
Here, have you ever seen that documentary, The Day the Series Stopped?
No. What's that?
You never heard of it?
No.
The World Series between fucking the Athletics and the fucking San Francisco Giants. I'm sure would they fucking could be
local derby.
I was the big earthquake in '89 was in the middle of the World Series. Here, I'm not even telling you, we're going to watch that documentary. It's fucking outstanding. It'll be on your funny stick.
Marty, listen, I'm glad you're okay, but see if I want the walls to move in my house, I'll just take acid or something.
Well, see the hang on. so tell me this, Marty, right? See the old San Andreas Fault, does that run through LA or just San Francisco?
I thought it was just San Francisco, to be honest.
Because San Francisco know for a fact that they're going to be toast one day. You know, they know it's going to come because these teutonic plates will shift and it will be catastrophic. You know, I think it's in the post.
I was nearly coming on here with a GoFundMe if I can build a new house.
Marty, fucking like, do they update you? Like, basically, like if you live there, did they come and say, listen, by the way, here's a state of play when it comes to the possibility of earthquakes? It's just like
it's just when you buy a house, like you have to. Most new build houses here are set up for it, but it's really difficult to get insurance for earthquake damage because it's an act of God. So, you're pretty fucked, to be honest.
God's a good insurance guy, isn't he? God's a good insurance guy.
The Christmas appeal could have been for me this year.
What we'll do is we'll have a fucking homeboys get together and over where you live, and we'll fucking just bring a big squad of us, a load of fucking fellas. We'll fill in the San Andreas Fault. We'll have it done in about 3 days. We'll all be steaming. Jason can organise it.
Get the full arsehole convention.
Exactly. We'll fucking fly in. Not a problem. Not a problem. See between the sand from the beaches and the vomit. You'll not be able to.
It'll be a Tim tradesman bossman's holiday.
Hey, by the way, just see the one thing as well. See if MD's calling in favour. I think Marty Boys put more into the HomeBhoys Christmas appeal than MD.
Marty has.
I might need one of those.
That'll be the praise.
One of those bags back.
That'll be the praise. Here. That'll be the fucking praise this year. We'll do the winner gets a week staying with Marty and the loser gets 2 weeks staying with Marty.
That's it, mate. That's it. I'll only accept tradesmen though. I need some shit done in the house. So
as long as you don't mind drunk tradesmen, I'm sure we can fucking arrange a few of them.
Send the dagger in.
So listen, Marty. Since the last time you were on, right, there's been some specific good news with the Los Angeles CSC. You're now rather than me talk about it, why don't you take the listeners through what's happened with the Los Angeles CSC since the last time you were on?
So I guess since last time we were on, we have left Jocks or Dailies, which the club was at for about 24, 25 years. Place served the club great. I think I touched on a few of the points before. A few of the challenges were that obviously it's become an EPL bar now, specifically Liverpool and Arsenal. So you've got all those dafties in there every Saturday and Sunday. But to be fair play to them, there's 200 of them, 300 of them spending money, boozing. They're in there getting pissed up all day. Like I've said before, like we tend to have a pretty older membership. You know, it's guys in their 60s upwards. Not too many young guys kicking about. So the more the EPL guys were taking over Joxers, it was becoming a bit harder to get people to come. We were getting one TV. No fault to the bar, you know. The guy Eugene, who's a Celtic fan, and he looked after us. He'd done his best to make it work. But when you've got 200-300 and they're paying his wages, he's got to accommodate them. So we ended up with one TV for any games that would clash. And for me personally speaking, and I've voiced this already, I used to get pissed off driving all the way to Culver City in the morning to watch a TV in silence, and listen to daft Americans that, in my opinion, don't know much about football, shout at the TV and sing weird songs. So we were thinking about trying to find somewhere else, but again, I wasn't the president or anything at the time, which I'll tell you about in a second. But we're thinking about, can we find anywhere else? But it's really difficult. Who wants to open up at 7 a.m. for sometimes 5 guys? So it's a real challenge over this side of the world. But there's a lot of passion for watching the games, but it's just about getting everyone together. So the president last season, and he's been the president I think for 4 years, decided to move on. So myself and my mate Jamie became joint presidents of the club. So starting this season,
El
joint presidente. So I didn't think it would be, but it was a lot of work over the summer getting things kind of together for the start of the season. So we found a new venue. One of the long-time members, and I think he was on the committee prior. This guy Andy Rock owns a bar in Santa Monica called Trip. It's a music bar, pretty famous. The Eagles used to play in it years ago, and a bunch of other big bands have played in it. He said we can watch the games as bars. So I Trip in Santa Monica. It's about 6 or 7 blocks up from the beach. Great location. Actually quicker for me to get to from the east side. We had the first proper game was obviously Flag Day. We got about 30 odd people, which is big for us.
Really?
So
that's not bad at all.
That's
we've
good.
got about 28 paid up members so far. We have about another 20 still to come in. So it's been pretty good, and just I set up all new Twitter accounts and stuff like that. Just essentially Twitter's the platform I've been pushing it, just trying to get, and again, keeping it to talk about the games. I'm not on there to talk shite about anything else other than we're showing the game, and so on and so forth. The bar sells tenants on tap, so you can't ask for more. We'll get free run of the place when games are on, 10 tellies. We've all got a set of keys just in case Andy, who likes a bevy, doesn't turn up on time.
Right.
The Huns game, we're there this Sunday for the game, so it's a 7 a.m. kickoff for us, the Hibs game. So hopefully a good crowd comes this Sunday as well. But as the last place was such a good servant to us. Eugene, the bartender, actually was going back to Ireland for a big period, so it made it a bit more difficult. There's nobody going to come and open the door at 7 a.m. There's nobody coming to open the door at 4 a.m. for his 4:30 for the Huns game. So we had to find somewhere. We're in this new place, and it's been good. We had a couple of tours.
Have your tag us on your Twitter tag?
I will do, mate. I will do.
Share that for you.
But it's been good so far. As I said, only one league game. We watched the Chelsea American Tour game. It was quite a good crowd turned up for that as well. So the Huns game in 2 weeks, September 1st, it's 4:30 in the morning. We should hopefully get about. I'm hoping to get between 50 and 80 for that game. But we'll just keep going at it. We're trying to encourage people back that maybe haven't been in a couple of years. Maybe they were put off by the EPL guys being in the place.
Yep.
Again, but a lot of older guys, that's no change. We're trying to obviously encourage them to bring their.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is there any younger people coming now?
Nah. There's just none. Nah, honestly, none. There's a couple. This one guy brings his 2 kids along, which is great. Occasional kids come in, but I don't really see anyone.
I think it's a lot easier on the East Coast.
You
have it fucking tough over there. Like you really do. And even like holiday makers and stuff like that, you're more likely to get drifters coming in on the East Coast too. It's a tough gig.
I mean, the amount of people from Ireland and Scotland and whatever that go on holiday to LA now is minuscule.
Florida will be more of a fucking.
And we're doing stuff like we're going to do an event for Kano, the Kano this year. We're going to try and do a beach barbecue potentially at some point. Raise some money for them. We want to just get, do the T-shirts we used to have. We used to have the "You'll Never Surf Alone." That was the club's motto. So we're going to get the old cheese made up again. Just small steps, mate. For me, I don't give a shit about any of that. It's about getting people there to watch a game, and that's and just communicating. I send out an email every Monday. I send out the same email in a WhatsApp form. I send it in text because, again, there's a lot of people that are really bad communicators, and there's a bunch of old guys. No offense, but it's sometimes. I don't know how people get their information. So I send an email, I put it in the Twitters, we put it on Instagram. We're trying to shut down all the old Facebooks. There's about 300 fucking Facebooks and accounts, and people have lost their password. So I found that challenging because, again, some old boys just look at it and they're like, oh, well, it's open, it's the Joxer Daily, so they might not know. We rejoined the North American Federation this year. There was a few years we've not been in it officially in terms of paying. We got our Celtic TV back for the club. So just small things, standard things that should be happening to try and get it, moving again. But no, it's good. I love going there. I hate watching games, like I said last time, on my own. So, but me and Jamie, and also the other guys, it's not just me and Jamie. There's 3 other guys involved. Jim, our treasurer, Andy Rock is on the committee, and then Joe as well. So, mate, we all just team up together to try and make sure it's a decent experience for people coming to watch a game, and that's it. That's all you can ask for.
Where's the exact location then, Marty? Push at it.
It's on Lincoln. It's on Lincoln in Santa Monica, just off the 10 freeway.
Santa Monica is absolute class. We were there. I'll tell you when it was, Marty. 6 years ago, the day I was there, because it came up on my Facebook. It was 6 years ago the day I went to the Dodgers and Giants game. It came up on my Facebook today, and we were down in Santa. We live. So you've got Santa Monica, then you've got Venice. What's that place that's just next to Venice?
Marina del Rey.
Marina del Rey. We stayed in Marina del Rey, and we used to walk it down to Santa Monica, just on the beach. And I fucking loved it, mate.
It's a great spot. And it was funny last week for the Flag Day. I walk in and this guy goes out to me, "You Brian Crampsey's son?" I was like, "How the fuck do you know?" This guy Frank, who's lived out in LA for years, he's like, "I grew up one street over for you, fucking in Cumbernauld. Know your dad. Went and used to go in the Cumbernauld bus a while, blah blah blah." He goes, "I knew it was you because you walk like your dad."
Holy fuck.
Walk like your dad.
He goes, "You walk like your dad, and then I seen you look like him as well." So it's a small world, but like you said, Jason, you don't get many people passing through here, like obviously New York and the East Coast side of things, but.
You used to years ago, see when it was a lot more affordable. I used to know people that would go to LA quite a lot. Do you know the holidays?
Yeah,
it was a lot. It was kind of affordable for the normal punter, but nowadays the prices just come to the States full stop now. It's just fucking absolutely wild.
It's chaos here. Even me, when I fly back, like I think I said this last time as well. I couldn't come back last Christmas because for the 3 of us to come back, it was over 10 grand just for the flights. And then this year I booked him early, so I managed to get him way cheaper than that to come back. But everything here is just LA in general. Just the prices are out of control and everything. And I don't. One thing I will say is though, going for a pint's not that expensive. I have to say, I don't find going for a beer expensive. Like come to the pub, I think it's like $8 a pint.
Really, that's good.
In
Chicago, it was like $11-12.
Aye.
See what I was going to say, right? See that North American tour that they did, right? Obviously, the game in DC, then the North Carolina game, then South Bend. I don't think it could have went any better for Celtic. And see how we were critical that you couldn't buy a Celtic scarf and all that. That was all healthy.
I heard it was good, eh?
Aye, there was merchandise. And see that game in South Bend, that's the first time I've ever seen Celtic in the States, right? I was blown away, right? There was between 30 and 40,000 at the game, right? And it was 50% chip. I didn't hear one English accent Chelsea supporter.
Yeah.
Right? See, Celtic fans, everybody was Irish, Scottish, or like first generation American with a bit of a Scottish twang, or like Scottish guy. I'd say the majority were Scottish or Irish living in America, right? Yeah. But there was loads that flew over for it as well. And see if, and I know it's going to be hard with the Champions League qualifiers next year or whatever, but see if Celtic could actually make it like a yearly event and start coming over and then could come to LA, etc. Because honestly, mate, see loads of the young Yank Chelsea fans, I guarantee you, I'm not saying like the majority or anything, but there will be a good few hundred of them with the Celtic supporters now. See, because of the atmosphere in the stadium. There's a wee guy walking out with us, took his Chelsea top off and chucked it in a bush, said, "I'm a Celtic fan now, you guys are awesome." Like, fucking giving it the high fives to us and all that. And but it's that thing, that gets into them, and then they kind of look into it, and it just takes a wee spark, and all it would take is one young guy in LA next to you or whatever to take an interest, get into it, bring a few of his pals across, you know, because that's how the English teams morph. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they don't have any direct contact with people in England. You know, they just pick a team and go and watch it. But if they had some, say for instance, you could get some of them over to a game or whatever, like some young team near where the supporters club is, you get them over and then they get a few of their pals, you know, it could be a wee domino effect. I think you need to try your best, mate.
I think if we tried to, like, I think if Celtic came to LA, like, honestly, unless people were flying in for it, the crowds would be pretty shit. I don't think you'd get in the West Coast this far over. I think it'd just be like, honestly, 1,000 if you're lucky. But I think that Chelsea game when we hammered them 4-1, that's the first time since I've lived on the West Coast that I've heard people talking about it, like coming up to me, because I'll wear the Celtic stuff in the gym, the training gear, and people will be like, "Oh, you battered the Chelsea at the weekend." You know, I seen it. You know, and like nobody's ever mentioned to me. The only guys in my gym that come up and talk about Celtics, any of the English guys that maybe are in the gym. But I think the Chelsea game really made people notice in a weird way. I'm not saying like globally, but definitely a lot more people texting me, American mates and stuff like that, because it was on ESPN. You know,
that's what I was about to say. The coverage has got much better, and see, as I say, my wee cousin lives in just outside San Fran. He's a barman. And he was texting me during the year going, "This fucking," I'm sitting here, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon here and I'm watching the Celtic match. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And he says, it's on Fox, whatever the fuck. He was texting me, showing me his TV, sitting playing Hearts. So you know, I don't know what's going on, but it's great. It's great that there's more exposure. And
every Celtic away game, I think last season as well, was on Paramount Plus and CBS, I think it is. Like on Sunday, we'll watch the game on Paramount Plus, because if we do it through Celtic TV, we have to pay an extra $100 or something close to that to watch cup games. So if it's all, like in the Huns game, we'll probably watch on ESPN as well, just because it means we don't have to go through the internet, and it's a much better like standard of watching the game, you know. So we use the Paramount Plus and stuff when we need to. But we're all, like I said, we're all signed up for the proper official, like North American Celtic TV through the federation and the club. So the club have been pretty good with that stuff. I've been in contact with them, and they were, you know, so they sort everything out pretty quickly. And I know I know Celtic TV isn't the best, but like we all know, they're tiny teams working on these things. Just from speaking to the girl I spoke to there, and it's like 2-man team type of thing, you know.
Aye.
It was great to see the tour in America.
It was class, mate. See the full. I mentioned it on the show last week. I don't want to go over it, but see, like being in Chicago for like 2-3 days before it, you were walking down the street. Even Linda, she hates football, right? And she's got no interest whatsoever. You're walking down the street and turning around, and you're just bumping into Celtic fans left, right, and centre. Yep. You know, me and her were going to walk down the shore thing where all the beaches are in Chicago. Guys out jogging with their set, and I didn't realise, because I didn't have any Celtic gear on. Me and her were just at a walk. The guy's got his earphones in, running by me with a full Celtic. I'm like, "All right, mate, hell, I looked at him, he's fucking shatty, sir. Who the fuck are you?" I was automatically thinking he must know I'm a Celtic fan. But there was Celtic fans everywhere, and you were just like, because we're sitting in a bar, and the guy's like, "That's why you guys here? We're here for a soccer game." What? Is that one that wears the green and white? The Celtics? And we're like, aye. He says, "I've seen those guys. What's going on?" And I was telling them, "Look, it's a friendly. So there's nothing at stake, and you guys have travelled all the way to Scotland." I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Fucking hell, man, that's fucking arsehole."
There was one thing when I was talking to the guys, the team at Celtic TV, when I was sorting all the stuff out. You know, I was saying, look, you know, there's a whole bunch you guys could be doing for the supporters clubs over here. Simple stuff. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. I've emailed before about it. It's never went anywhere. So I'm trying to get that arranged right now when I speak to their head of marketing. I think his name's Kevin. Just simple stuff, like honestly, see, even like sending us posters.
Is it Kevin McQuillan?
Yeah, that guy. Yep, Kevin McQuillan.
Kevin's a brilliant guy.
So, you know, just things like Celtic have been doing amazing graphics this year so far to promote their games, right, on all their social channels, etc., and their website. And my point of view is, see if you can send us them, or even a template. We can use that, so it's keeping the brand. It's the same. All the supporters clubs use the same thing. keep the brand identity right through all the clubs in the world. It's just a simple thing. Like, I know they can't print them and send fucking them to everyone, but if you send us them locally, we can print them locally and use that template, because otherwise you get, like you've probably seen, some mad guys who have no idea about graphics and stuff, and it just all becomes crazy. So just simple things like that's what the EPL do. The EPL provide all these pubs with posters advertising the game. It's all done in the same format. You brand recognition. Again, so a lot of the stuff I do in my day-to-day job, but it does mean stuff, and it does mean a lot just to, even if it's
I know from speaking to
home or a Los Angeles Celtic supporters club, just these little things that add that bit extra when it comes to branding, and especially in America, that's what they give a shit about here. People want to see, that's a Chelsea brand, that's the Man U brand, that's what it looks like, so on and so forth. So I think there's little ways that they can help us. I know it's not easy. Like I said, they're all small teams at Celtic, and you guys have probably dealt with them in the past yourselves. But if I can help in any way, make the experience and help, that's what a job as a supporters club is, right? Promote Celtic in America.
You're right, because I've been speaking to Kevin about a few things, and they're just so short staffed, and Celtic are doing a new digital strategy, so they're sort of, I suppose they're sort of hamstrung until the strategy's in place, if you know what I mean. They have to get that kind of done first, and he's been working on it. But a real good guy, you know what I mean. If he can help you, he will.
And their output they're doing this year, like this season's been amazing. Like just all the stuff. It's just talking about their,
earlier on, Marty, even just their tweets and stuff, using Irish language and simple things and teasers, and it's just great. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it does take staff. It takes people, and if they don't have enough people to do stuff,
but here's back to the old adage, right? Marty is offering them his services free. Right.
Yep. It's like Fergus McCann fucking offering a free.
Right. So basically, Marty's saying, you send me the graphics, and you give every affiliated Celtic supporters club that's the North American Federation, right, rights to use your graphics, right? So see, if you give us that, then we have no any copyright. Marty, you could organise it and get it sent to everybody, and then say to everybody, look, see when you're putting your supporters club badge or whatever, tie it into this. And as you say, it's the official brand of the club with your added part there. And it's not hard.
You've seen some of the mad graphics people do, right? And I'm not criticising, I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is Celtic have an opportunity, not control it, because if somebody sends me a beautiful looking graphic and poster with templates and fonts, and you're just like, wow, that's easy. I can just do that myself, or I can get somebody, and then it's all the same, And it just makes us look more professional and better. And again, it's not a big deal. It's not going to change what the output on the pitch, but it just helps with the building of the Celtic brand, if that's what we're all trying to do,
Aye, definitely. There we go. So listen, let's get back to the football, because I've got a point I want to make here, and it could go any way you want, right? But Celtic supporters fucking do my fucking head in, right? What's new, right? So, we're sitting there about fucking 800 billion in the bank, right? And we're saying, you better fucking spend money, So we go and spend fucking between 8 and 10 million, whatever it is, in Adam Idah. That's fucking far too much. And you're going, right, wait a minute here. What part of this parallel universe did I fucking step into? Because
it's mental.
I am a daft supporter that season ticket gets increased year on year. The club gives me fuck all back, and I get saying that, I should have rephrased that. Marty is a that gets his dividend sent in. So he's one of the guys that's earning for this.
Listen, fall before my feet. I own Celtic.
Exactly. But the thing
the loudest voice in the room.
Why the fuck do they care that Celtic paid maybe 2-3 million more than they reckon Idah's worth?
Hello?
And you've got that fucking...
Like, Celtic are releasing statements to the stock exchange there. Listen, we're fucking loaded.
Money.
Oh. And by the way, fair play to Norwich. Norwich played hardball. New Celtic had a few quid. New Celtic were desperate to get him. So just says, well, fucking, you'll pay the money, or you just like we're doing with Matt Riley. And fair play to Celtic. That's 4 bids Atalanta have come in with. We've still not sold them. So I'm delighted Celtic's playing hardball. We've got an asset. We'll only shift them. I mean, we don't want to shift them, but if we do shift them, you need to pay that premium. And if you don't pay that premium, it doesn't go. Norwich done exactly the same. I don't see the issue whatsoever, and I don't actually think. And anybody moan and say, I think Idah's only worth about 3 to 4 million. Look with the petted lips, you're going like, what the fuck are you worrying about?
Who cares?
What does it matter to you?
Exactly. Plus, guy won us the cup.
Fucking the guy fucking won us the league and all.
I mean, so like, you know what I mean? But these are the same people that fucking would claim, oh, Kieran Tierney shouldn't have left Celtic. Same moaning bastards, man. It's the same sculpture of person. Same fucking.
The best one for me is there's better out there for that price. Just
no.
Like, where? Show me.
And here's the thing: the last person we spent that sort of cash on was Edward. And we fucking doubled their fee for Edward. So you're going, there's every fucking chance we're going to do the fucking same here.
And because Edward was French, does that make him automatically better? Because Adam Idah's
he came from PSG. It's different. I mean, because he didn't come from fucking Norwich. Fuck knows what the logic is, right? At the end of the day, Norwich did what fucking teams do. They went, pay me.
But hold on, it's exactly the same as Edward. When we signed Edward was a sub. We brought Edward off the bench that year, and in the second half of the season he came good. The match at Ibrox, he was brought off the bench and he scored. And they're saying he's not even the fucking main striker. Kyogo is, and you're going, but he could be the fucking main striker next year. Who the fuck knows? Fuck me.
By the way, see all the strikers and right. I was going to come up with an outlandish statement. I'll just reel myself back in. But
let's go.
But see the Majovski stuff, right? I think Majovski's a class player. I'd have been delighted if he came to Celtic, right? And you'd have got him for 6 million. They probably raised the price if it was us, right? But the thing is, Adam Idah is the safest bet out there to give us what we're looking for. To give us a striker that's totally different to Kyogo, that gives you a totally different option to Kyogo, that he's just as effective in the box. And he's been here, seen it, done it. You know for a football, nothing's concrete in life, right? But you know for a 99% guarantee that Adam Idah is going to be a success. He's proving it, you know, and with the highest pressure. I mean, last season was a bit of a pressure cooker when he came. You know, there was certain times at the season, that especially Motherwell away, there was times in the season where you were actually thinking, fucking, this isn't going to happen, this league's away. And he pops up, Easter Road as well, with the 2 penalties, cup final. I mean, the goals that he scored last year, the importance, the one at Ibrox as well, the importance of the goals that he scored, that guy's got fucking bottle and he's got fucking bags of it. And he's a decent football player as well. And I think he's only going to get better. So, do I think he's better than Kyogo? No, I don't. Not a chance. I would always have Kyogo as my number one. But see when Kyogo trudges off the park in 55, 60 minutes and Adam Idah's coming on, fucking hell, you're buzzing. You know, the big man's going to get you something. If we're toiling and, you know, you're needing a change of tactics, you're needing something else, Big Idah's absolutely perfect.
I 100% agree with everything you said. Everything. Right? And like Roger said, Roger said himself, he goes, he's a guy with a big game mentality. See that? That's the important thing.
He's proving that. He's proving that. What about yourself, Marty? Oh, sorry, there's 2 Martys here. the Ulster Scotch Marty. What about yourself?
He's away. Is he away?
No, fucking here. She went on a rant about it a minute ago. Fuck's sake, do you know what I mean? So it's totally mental, you know what I mean? And we spoke on here months ago and we said, listen, we could buy 5 million players and wouldn't even touch the fucking sides of our money this year. Like with 70 million to start with, we've sold 4 or 5 players. We got fucking £2 million for Bosa on law. Well, the Huns got put out on fucking Wednesday night. We're getting all their TV money. We're shitting tenors. And cunts are, I don't know, fucking weary willies. I'm not sure about this. I think we get robbed. Shut the fuck up. So what if I get robbed? We've loads of money in the fucking kitty.
A big shut the fuck up clinic needs to be held.
But I don't know. We haven't really spoken about it, Marty. We were just talking balls basically before you come on. But I watched Brendan Rodgers' press conference today and it was fucking outstanding.
Brilliant.
It was great from start to finish. He was just on fucking fine form. The only thing that was missing was Danny McGreen sitting beside him, but Fran a big fucking hang of mints in a pan. That was the only thing that was missing today. He just had his balls out. He started on the Huns, second question, and then he went for the Huns. But then he was talking about the transfers, and he was talking about Idah, and he was saying, look, this guy, it's no risk signing. You know, he's a big team player, he says, and he's only starting his career. When he walked into the club, you knew. He says, look, we're all talking about players in terms of their physicality and their ability and their athleticism. He says, but what you want in your club is a player who has the big time attitude to go with it. He says, and that's what Adam Idah has. That's why I wanted him at the club. That's why I targeted him. He's one of us. He's here now. He tried to get out of fucking Norwich, clearly, and to make himself in. So if you didn't hear the press conference today, go back and listen to it. It was really, really good.
It was fantastic.
And they were trying to trip Rodgers up on the whole, you know, the backroom staff and the recruitment and all that stuff. They handled it all really well, you know. So it was very, very interesting the day, you know. So
have you heard it, Marty?
Aye, I heard it. Aye, great.
Oh, you did hear it. Brenda's was outstanding, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Aye,
it's just like, it goes back to that. It goes back to that thing, though. Like, I think the frustrations for everyone just come with. Goes back to that communication thing from Celtic. That's it. It's just if they communicated for day one, just obviously they can't tell you the ins and outs, right, and everything. But just give you a plan. Look, we're definitely going to bring in the quality we need. It's only players shipping out. But getting sound bites every week for Brendan, I don't think it's helped everyone's like nerves. And people just keep thinking because Lawwell's involved that we'll end up back the way we were last season as well, you know. Myself included.
Aye, but I mean, you can't. I mean, how do you address paranoia consistently among fans? I mean, you can't. Like the end of the day, and some part of me thinks the more it's Rodgers that puts the message out there, when it works out well, which I fucking hope it does work out well, everybody will just go, well, this guy's got it in hand. I mean, and today's presser is a good example. He looked really, really calm, really comfortable, really assured of himself. Not that he's never not looked assured, I mean, but I mean, it's safe to say we look a better team the start of this season than we did the end of last season. And to me, Brendan's on a fucking mission. Like, I mean, and he's going to make it the best he can possibly make it. Again, there's that paranoia as well that I'm totally well aware of and I'm totally invested with, is that, like, what will the board do to fuck it at some point? You know what I mean? Or what fucking, you know, what obstacle will be thrown in Brendan's fucking path. But see, for now, I choose to be positive. I choose to be as positive as possible. The Idah thing, brilliant. See the social media output, outstanding. See that here we go again thing, fucking on Twitter, brilliant, amazing. Right? Everything is just so fucking positive, especially given what's going across the water. I mean, so again, I choose to be positive, and I until the lid is closed on the ins and outs.
Right. So enough for Johnny Mackay there.
The Pete diggers.
You're the one said no doom and gloom, you can't.
Aye, no, it's Johnny Mackay's partner. I nicked it for him. He's fucking constantly no doom and gloom. But what I would say is I'm absolutely delighted we get Idah in, but we still need to get business done. And I said last week, and if it gets to the stage come the end of the transfer window that this is the end of it, and don't get me wrong, if this is the end of it, then we've kept Matt O'Reilly. I will be delighted, but I will be fucking raging with that Celtic board that they've not actually strengthened the team.
But here's the thing, Jason, too. See, it's a Scott's perennial argument, right? It's not just about bringing players in. It's also about getting rid of cunts who are a fucking drain on you.
But we're doing that. We're good at that.
But this is my point. It's good news all around in the sense that we're bringing in. We've re-secured Bernardo. Already hasn't gone. Aid is in, but he's getting rid of fucking people around the squad who you just don't want hanging about. He sees himself as the coach who can improve a player. And you can't do that if you've got 60 fucking players to go around every week. It's just impossible. Right. So even if you had a smaller batch of players that you're working with constantly and making them work better together, like look at the preseason, you could fucking clearly tell that was what was happening. It was just brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So if you're getting into the Champions League, yes, we're going to ship a few goals because our our defence isn't a grade A defence, but you know,
Currently.
if you've got that power going forward, then you're always in with a chance of scraping draws, getting wins here, you know, small wins here or there, whatever else, and then you make the club more attractive for better players to come to, because you're not a fucking basket case anymore. You know, you're saying we're doing damage in Europe here. Come and join us. So,
no. But to do damage in Europe, we need better players.
No, I'm not arguing with that at all. But there's not a fucking mission that anybody can tell me that we can't do better than what we've done the last 10 years in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Even just from a fucking start. Like even when fucking Dembele and players like that were here, were fucking terrible. Do you know what I mean? With some awful results under Rodgers, even the first time. So if we can get ourselves into a really ship-shape unit and take like teams who are our level, like that group last year, some of them teams were at our level, we should have been fucking taking them out by the root. Even with the players are a year older, a year more experienced, a year more working with each other, a year more working with Brendan Rodgers. Some of the players didn't know each other last year. We were laughing at Bernardo. He kept getting fucking played last year in the Champions League. He wasn't playing any other time. Scott had a conspiracy theory on it, you know. So it should be much better this year. Now,
I've got no doubt it will be.
I'm
the
most pessimistic cunt in the world when it comes to the European football, as you know. But I think that it's a good strategy, and even if it might not just go right this time, but if we're going to lift our level a wee bit, it's definitely easier to bring better players here, because players are going, they're not fucking going there. They're going to get humiliated in Europe all year and playing Ross County away in December. Do you know what I mean? So
right, so you've said a load of stuff there, right? So, but I'm still not getting the point, because I made the point that we need to sign players.
No,
so you mentioned
I agree. So, I agree with you completely. And if we can get another 2 or 3 decent players in between now and the end of the window, but the point was, we shouldn't be doing this squad filling bollocks that we usually do.
No.
Just
totally agree. Totally agree.
So what I'm saying is we shouldn't be bringing in any players at all. If those players are shit, don't fucking sign them, because all you're going to have is another 4 dickheads hanging about.
Yeah, totally agree.
Projects, fuck me. If I fucking hear another fucking project.
But the thing as well, getting like 3-4 million for O, getting 2-3 million for Bosun Law, you know, that's fantastic fucking business, you know. And I don't really care about business, but at the end of the day, as a football club in Celtic, obviously you would hope money in the bank that you can reinvest in the team. I don't want Celtic to have 80 million in the bank. I want to have a proper team in the park with 20 million in the bank, you know. I want to have a proper team that gives us the best chance in Europe. And I still think this team we've got at the minute is severely lacking at I wouldn't even say the top level in Europe. I'd say like the medium level in Europe. This team is still lacking.
If we're shopping in England, so Idah's cost us 10 million, basically 8-9, however you want to fucking slice it down. So if that's the standard of player, and if that's the amount you're paying, you know what I mean? Then you wouldn't be long getting rid of that fucking 80 million. But our point was, our point was at the end of the season when we did our season review, and we were fucking saying you could buy 4 really excellent players, like 10 to 15 million, striker, midfielder, fucking centre back, and a keeper, and you'd still have 60 million in the bank.
Do you think there's any other league in the world where fans talk about money as much as in Scotland? All the managers, like that Martingale, all he talked about was money. Anytime he was interviewed, money, finances. They talk about it. Clement's always talking. I don't get it. Why are they obsessed with it? You know, it's just finances. All those podcasts like your Open Goal, your PLZ Soccer. It's always talking about finances in Scotland, and I always think to myself, seeing Portugal and Holland, Belgium out with the big 5 leagues, did they sit and talk about money as much as?
No, but there's I suppose the proximity to England is a tough one.
I was going to say, you can't live in the per attic, aren't you? Of the fucking like somebody's dead rich.
Hanging about with rich people.
My point. But the thing is, Marty, geographically we are fucked. Do you know what I mean? Just because we are right next to them, and that's fucking. You know, for a player to leave Scotland to go to England to get fucking quadruple his wages to go to a lesser fucking club, because you're not telling me that Aberdeen are no bigger than fucking Preston North End.
Right.
You know, but the thing is, somebody will leave Aberdeen and go, that's a bad example, but Aberdeen are bigger than Bournemouth. You know, much bigger than Bournemouth. You know, but you could go to Bournemouth. Aye, you could go to Bournemouth and fucking multiply your wages by 10 if you leave Aberdeen and go there. You know, but Aberdeen, to me, I don't care what Andy says, Aberdeen's a far bigger club than Bournemouth.
Also, too, Jason, there's a fucking elephant in the room here, right? Now, Celtic fucking set the standard for Scottish football post-war with our activities between 1966 and probably 1980 odds, the early 80s, right? We were talking yesterday. We were going, I can't believe fucking Celtic have won 100 Champions League matches. Right, so we've won 100 top flight European games, right, in the top league in the European Cup / Champions League. So we set the standard for that, and we won a cup. And the Scottish, our rivals in Scotland, have been fucking chasing that ever since. And part of the money is obviously them going bust and trying to outbuy us. And like, don't tell me there's no hubris around fucking poor immigrants coming over. You know, and the ability to buy and sell them, and you know, for every $5 they spend, we'll fucking spend a tenner. All that racist stuff was in the mix there too. So that part obsession comes from them being envious of us and trying to fucking outspend us, and then the inevitable that fucking happened in 2012 when the fucking dickheads went bust. You know, and then there's been other things too, like the TV deal. If you remember back in O'Neill's time, the SPL knocked back the Sky deal and it fucked the league for about 5 years. In fact, I was actually thinking about it when Mark Strachan was talking yesterday. I was actually thinking about it with Scott because that ironically helped Hibs at that time because they had to get rid of all their big earners and they had to play their kids. And their kids made them a fucking fortune. They sold Scott Brown, they sold Derek Reardon, they sold fucking Gary O'Connor, Gary Cobwell. And that was purely through necessity. They had to play them players because they had nobody else to play. So there's, you know, money in Scotland is such a fucking strange thing. Scottish people are quite thrifty anyway, and I don't mean to be racist at all, like, you know, but there's that old you know, thing about Scottish thrift, Presbyterian thrift, you know, but that's not how fucking Rangers behave. Rangers sliced the cash and fucked themselves.
That's the biggest fucking lie ever told to mankind, that Scottish folk are miserable.
No, I never said miserable.
We were just talking about how much money is spent on a match day for fucking 25 minutes ago.
No, there's no doubt, but
how much money spilled over bars.
It's more a comment. It's more an observation on what Marty said. They're just about being obsessed, you know, with money. But if you look back, it's easy to see why. You know,
no, but again, like you live in the attic of a very rich house to a certain degree. Yeah. I mean, in football ways, I mean, everybody downstairs partying, going, "We're fucking mental." You're upstairs counting pennies, going like, "How much money we got? Much money we got?"
Yeah, we just listen to guys like Martindale and stuff talking about it every fucking minute. It does sound like a Presbyterian thing. Honestly, it's like
that's what drug dealers do, Marty.
Yeah.
But do you know what, Marty, as well? It's kind of their get out of jail free card. I think they use it as a protection mechanism. That right, okay, we're a bit shit, but I've not got any money. Right, so, but you see other managers. I mean, fucking your man at St Mirren. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
He's worked wonders with next to nothing. You know, Derek McInnes, great manager. Don't care what MD says. If the monkey tonks had got him, do you know what I mean?
Stuart Kettlewell as well. Stuart Kettlewell's done good at Motherwell, bringing in some of these guys.
We've signed about another 10 or 11 players this season, so see how it goes then for them. But
he's a good guy, Stuart. I know him personally. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
we grew up with him. Aye, he's a Hun, but he's a good guy. We grew up with him. Aye.
All right, nice one. But it's like, if you're a good manager, you're a good manager, and regardless of what tools you're given, you can get the best out of a bunch of players. Because let's face it, these are all professional football players. They can all play football. They've all worked their way up through the ranks, and they can all play the game. And some are better than others. I get that. But see, if you've got a top manager with a bunch of average players, and then you've got a shite manager with a bunch of better players, I would put my money on the top manager with the average players beating the other team.
Funny you said that. Vincent Company said that in that Burnley documentary this week. Exactly what you just said.
Did he?
Aye. Yep. He said that.
And he's where is he? Bayern Munich now.
Bayern Munich now, yeah. Did you watch that documentary?
No, I was just going to say I said it.
It's interesting. The American owners, they seem like they're this like hedge fund, like venture capitalist group, and they're all like Mormons, and it's so interesting watching these owners, and you get a really good insight to the transfer deadline day as well. The cameras like properly roll through that. Give it a watch. It's actually pretty decent, and it's not a usual like fluff piece. It's pretty like in depth. But just watching these American guys, it's pretty scary. Just these guys who know nothing about football, like
how they approach it,
how they approach it. Yep, and they just got relegated, and the chairman is in, and he's in the dress in the like the boardroom after having drinks, and he's laughing his ass off. But like it's as if it's a nervous laugh. But to me, I'm like, fuck it. I'm sure the Burnley fans aren't happy seeing him laughing away, and that's only one little thing. But
I've seen a few clips of Company on the training ground going fucking berserk.
He's vicious in it. I'm on episode 3, I think. I finished last night. He's pretty vicious in it. He's got a good approach though.
He's screaming at one lad, going "fucking shit, fucking shit," and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" He's trying to talk back. He's like, "Fucking shit." I was like, "Oh my god."
I know it's Burnley, but I know it's Burnley, and probably don't want to watch that. But give it a watch just to see, because it's all about the owners essentially and Company. It's a good insight, and I didn't know much about Vincent Company. I just seen the fact he moved to Bayern Munich, and it was he comes across as a good manager in it, and just to quote what you said, Jason, he referenced that exact analogy.
But I would actually, that's how, when you said that there, that he said that, I'm going, that's fucking flipping the face of what I'm saying, because he's done that. What's he done in management?
Well, got to move to Bayern Munich.
On the back of getting a team relegated.
Aye.
I found that the craziest managerial appointment in the history of football.
Yep. I guess it's highly rated. Belgium tried to get him while he was in the Championship with Burnley. In the episode I watched last night, Belgium tried to get him after the World Cup. After the World Cup, they tried to get him.
Well, he's made himself a desirable prospect as a manager, regardless of what he's
doing. Aye. So you say to yourself, how? Because I get see me personally, right? You need to take playing football totally away from the fact that you're a football manager. The two of them have got nothing in common. If you look at successful football managers over the decades, you've obviously got a right few that's been successful.
Zidane's one.
Right, but I'm saying you've got a right few that's been successful, but you've got fucking multitudes that have been absolute guff.
Yep.
That have just lived on their reputation and thinking you can take being a good player into being a manager. I mean, if you look at, there's countless examples, but don't get me wrong. If you look back to the greats like Brian Clough, Jock Stein, they all played football, but were they worldwide superstars? No, but they were good players. So, in the olden era, it probably was the thing. But if you look at the modern era, with the guys that have been like top managers, have they all been top players? I mean, your man at Real Madrid obviously was a quality player. So maybe I'm talking through my arse. Mourinho is the one that sticks out. There was a translator, right? So he kind of bucks the trend that he didn't even.
Brendan as well, eh? Brendan, what was Brendan's career like?
He was injured.
He was meant to be a good player, but he got short by injury.
Right.
Aye. So, but I mean, the thing is, the vast majority, as I can see, the managers that are managing at the top level didn't really play at the top level.
Brett Rodgers is the case in point.
Aye, but he could have been a good player, similar to kind of John Kennedy, I think.
How many managers can you mention that didn't play football?
No, I don't mean didn't play football. I think they all played football. But
Ancelotti only played about 300 games in his career.
He's managed about 3,000 matches. Fucking hell.
Yep.
Did you listen to did anybody listen to the what do you call it, Under the Cosh podcast with Paul Lambert when he said Ancelotti rang him after he got sacked? Did you hear about that? He says Ancelotti rang him, says met up for coffee, and he said, listen, he says, don't be worried about being sacked, Paul. He said, I've been sacked by like 4 football teams. He goes, and I'm still here. I mean, he was just like, going like, fucking, don't worry about it. Like, I mean, it'd be grand.
He's managed 11 teams, 10 of them top teams. Well, I'll include Everton in that one for you, Jason, but he's 10 out of 11. He's managed 10 top teams in the world out of 11. It's mental.
And he said Paul Lambert, he said, I've been sacked by, loads of times. He goes, used to it. Be all right. I was like, how cool's that cunt?
Lambert's never managed again since he phoned him.
Aye. Well, I haven't seen that because obviously realised he wasn't Ancelotti. I mean, nobody can take that kind of rejection unless you're cool as fuck. Right?
Aye. I always think, see if you're a top football player, right, get into management. I always think it must be hard because you're obviously depending what kind of club you're in. If you go to a top club, maybe, but if you go to like Roy Keane is the point in question. If you go to a club that's got fucking turf diggers and stuff like that, you're obviously trying to say that you need to fucking do the basics, and some of them can't do the basics to the level that you would have done it. It must be right difficult, to like fucking get that. And plus, a lot of football players are fucking thick. You know what I mean? They're just like guys that's no very fucking savvy. They're just really, really good at football. And they can play the game, but
there's a vast difference between having talent in football and being able to pass that, understanding and conception of the game on to somebody else, right? And here's a great example, right? I used to listen to the Graham Hunter podcast, but after all he slavers too much over cunts. I mean, he's fucking. But the one I listened to one time was with him and Damien Duff, right? And like even Damien Duff was cringing. You could fucking hear it. The audio cringe. It was the first time I've ever experienced it. Right? He told Damien Duff he was one of the best.
I missed a bit of
Graham Hunter.
Graham Hunter, right? Oh, fucking, he's a dick.
He was telling Damien Duff he was one of the best players that ever played the game, and even Duff was like, "Fucking calm yourself down," right? But the question was, at that time when the podcast was happening, he was working with the Celtic youth, right? And he said, I'd work with the Newcastle youth. He goes, and basically what I was told was like, just show them how to do what you did. And he goes, it was the first time I thought to myself, going like, how the fuck did I show somebody else how I was able to play football? I mean, how the fuck do I tell somebody? This is what he goes. At the end of the day, he goes, I just did it. He said, that's the way I thought about it. I just fucking did it, right? But then you look at Damien Duff now, and he's leading Shelburne like a fucking like a warrior. I mean, and he's considered one of the best fucking managers, in the League of Ireland. I mean, so there's obviously a journey that can happen for a coach, for a guy who can play football and doesn't know what the fuck to impart to anybody, to a guy that now all of a sudden knows how to handle an entire group of players and a fucking really, really fucking important football team in Ireland. I mean, it's a really interesting thing, Do
you look at Wayne Rooney? He's at Plymouth Argyle now, and it's like he's kind of gradually went down and down to Derby County. Now he's at Plymouth, and you say to yourself, how's that going to end up? And obviously, when you listen to him when he was talking in the Euros, he was totally insightful. I know he comes across as a bit of a scally and stuff like that, but I thought he was one of the best pundits that you could listen to, because he doesn't. Basically, his media delivery isn't.
He's relatable, Chabo. He's very relatable.
Aye, but he basically when he talks, you listen, because when he's talking about football, he's got a proper understanding. But the boy was a genius. But it's looking like if this goes south at Plymouth, where's he going to go next? There's probably no going to be many. I mean, you look at Gerrard, right? Much as I fucking can't stand the cunt, right? He was a quality player. He got fucking lucky with COVID with him. I don't care what MD says, right? Took him 3 years, and fucking we just imploded. It was the perfect storm for him.
3 years of a pandemic, fuck's sake.
Aye. And then fucking he ends up fucking, you know, where did they go for Rangers? They went down south, didn't they? Who'd they go?
Oh, the Villa.
Villa. Went to Villa. Absolute disaster. And then he's got a job out in Saudi and I couldn't even fucking... And by the way, Joe, how's that Saudi league getting on anyway that everybody's going to be watching and all that? I forgot about that.
I didn't say the Saudi leagues take over the world. I said the Saudis were going to take over the world, right?
Right.
When it came to sports, I said the Saudis are coming from all the sports. And so far, I don't think I've been disproved.
So, football... Name me 2 Saudi teams, the full names.
Al-Idah. And
that's probably
Al-Idah. Jason, there's a wee boy lives at the top. There's a wee boy lives at the top of our street. His dad's a Man United fan, and I swear to fucking God, he's the same. He's as my wee lad. They play together, and he's running about named 30 strips. Full strips.
Because they all want the Ronaldo strip. My wee lad's got one of them Al Nazir fucking strips.
Yep. Swear to fuck. See you next time he's down, I'll actually take a fucking photo of it because I can't never beat it at him.
I'd say DHgate was coming down with orders.
Aye, but let's face it, right? Unless the kids are into it, I'm fucking no clue about. I've not seen any kids cutting about with Saudi strips on. I couldn't name one of the. I couldn't even tell you one team in their league.
Jabo, let me tell you now, right? Go down to your local football academy any Saturday morning,
and they'll be wearing them strips.
But it's 4 years, then 9 or 10 are wearing them strips.
You'll see them strips, 100%.
100%. Every single Messi, Inter Miami, fucking El Nasir, fucking maybe lad wears fucking Dortmund, fucking El Nasir, fucking PSG, fucking once a night.
Right, so. But I think you've missed the point. User in Ireland. I think that's the point.
No, fuck it. It's a Man United connection. It's Ronaldo and fucking.
Go and hang about near a football academy on a Saturday morning. Well, you know what? Maybe don't. Right? That's a bad advice.
Right. I'll ask Mick because he's never away for his 2 boys playing football. I'll ask him how many of them are away.
In fairness, now.
Right.
In North Lanarkshire, it's probably fucking Celtic and fucking Rangers and fucking Mother. Again, it's it's quite a different experience for you. I mean,
as I said, Ireland's a bit of a special occasion because it's like you are into the support of football in Ireland is fucking. I mean, for instance, I retweeted a guy on Twitter the other day. Idah signed for Celtic, and fucking folk were congratulating him. Fucking, and he says, it's fucking disgrace. Support fucking Irish clubs. It was Irish people congratulating. Support Irish clubs. Don't they fucking foreign fucking clubs and that. The guy was a fucking Liverpool supporter. Some Irish guy.
Of course he was.
So
I've got a guy I know, Colin Brady, a boxer from Philadelphia, is coming to Dublin for like about fucking a day on Saturday, right?
Don't tell me supports a Saudi Arabian club.
You what?
Don't tell me he supports a Saudi Arabian football team.
No, he doesn't. No, he's a boxer, right? But he's an American. But he wanted to go around Dublin, like, and so I want to Temple Bar, and I was like, Colin, fucking avoid Dublin. So he said, like, fuck, right? And then I'm in the same. He's good mates with John Joe. You know John Joe from Philadelphia.
Aye, I met him in Chicago.
That's how I know Colin, right? And John Joe texts him and goes, "You'll get the Celtic match on in Dublin." In the chat, I was like, "No, you fucking won't." Like, not a fucking hope you get the Celtic match on in the pub in Dublin. Look, it'll be Super Sunday because the EPL's back up. I mean, and it's a fucking sad thing.
You'll get the game one somewhere if you go to the right place.
Aye,
the James Conley.
Well, the right place for me would be like the Kilmartin Inn and fucking like up around Donecarney or Coolock. I mean, that's a good spot. They'll put it on the big screen for you. I mean, it's a Celtic place. But see in Dublin City Centre. Good luck. Then.
But back to the point. So Saudi Arabian football still taking over the world because a couple of kids in Ireland are
I didn't say Saudi Arabian football taking over. I said the Saudis are going to take over sports. I said they're not just coming for football. They're coming for everything. They're coming for snooker. They're coming for fucking whatever's popular. They're coming for it. They're going to get a hand on it, right? And a big hand because money talks. Right? That's what I said. I have to keep fucking stating this like a fucking thing. Marty Fashion, what do you think? Are the Saudis coming for all of it? No.
Fuck the Saudis. No. What's happening at the weekend?
There you go. That's it. You know what? Hey, what? I'll never say it again. Marty Fashion, that's it done. I don't.
We're going to talk about the Hibs match, or we're going to have a right good fucking laugh at the Huns.
Well, this is what's up next in my notebook. I have a big happy face and then Huns in the middle of it, right? And it says Kiev, Boydie. Jay, you can get a bit of insight in that one, right? Danilo's limp and Hun tears, right? That's what I've wrote down. So
I actually sent a message. I don't keep many Rangers fans as friends, but I've got a couple, and I messaged, but they're really close mates, and I left a voice note for one of them last night, just saying, "What the fuck is going on with your team? Like, this is crazy. What is?" And even like, I never jabbed them. I don't get involved in that. I can't be fucked to it. I never jabbed them. I never say a thing. But like, these are a few boys that go to like every game, and I messaged them like last night. Honestly, what the fuck is going on over there? One of them get back to me today, just saying, he's like, "Look, mate, I can't actually believe it." He's like, every day I wake up, there's something else, and it's always worse. He's like, I can't see it becoming better anytime soon. He's like, there's just, I don't see the out. What is the out for them? And I have to agree, like, what is the out? How? Because we're going to keep getting more money. We're going to have more momentum, keep building, and they just create more problems. Like, you know, the thing yesterday about the allocations. You know, it's just I don't understand who leads it over there. You know, they tried to bring in a young guy. They had Bisgrove, right? And I know some people that know him and said he was a good guy and had good ideas and what have you. But I don't think he actually implemented any of it. You know, I think it's that old Presbyterian thing again. You know, it's just they're not going to change. I don't see how they get out of this current situation.
I totally agree with that, Marty, right? Because I think they're the football equivalent of someone that thinks you can still get a Fredo bar for 5p.
Yeah.
But now they're about for 50p. I mean, so it's that old style thinking going like, well, things haven't changed. You're like, well, things have fucking changed. Things have moved on, and you are so far behind the curve. Yep. You don't even fucking see the band coming.
Yep. But see, the thing is, right? They only ever dominated in the 90s, right? And we all knew why, because it was a bank game and they get everything that they wanted because the banks were friendly with them. So once the piper needed paid, they do not know how to operate. They've gambled, but they haven't worked within their means. And you go back to when they started as a new entity, come up through the lower divisions. They were playing in the fucking second division with Premier League players paying Premier League wages, whereas all you had to do was buy the fucking division above's players and fucking go in and give them fucking an extra couple of £100 a week, and they would have played for you.
Or play the youth players. You know?
Well, youth players, no, because I went and watched Celtic, like youth players against, when they're playing the cups and all that. There was a big fucking golf. But what I'm saying, Marty, is if you're playing in the second division, if you go and buy the top players for the first division and you get them in a team, they will definitely win the second division. Then do the same when you get into the first division, buy like journeyman Premier League players, pay them a couple of £100 more than they're getting. Obviously, the prestige of playing with Rangers, but no, they were giving guys $4 and $5 grand a week if I can play in the second, third division to get themselves back up. And they still
that was your man John Daly. Remember he said that? Remember the Dublin Hun? He said that. He says that McCoy's recruited him and he was on like £600 a week at Hearts, and he says, look, we're going to give you $4 grand. And he was like, oh, I don't know if that's enough, Ali. And he said, all right, I'll go and get you more. He says he fucking robbed them.
You're a big Kevin Kyle.
Yep.
You know,
that's right there.
You know, and it's just
that's what all this man does. When doesn't Dublin, I think.
Fuck, you need it. Can't.
Absolute imbeciles. But the thing is now, they need to live within their means, because there isn't a magic carpet out there that can whisk them away to a big money pot that can fucking fly them back into Ibrox and just deliver the goods.
But the other thing is too, that in general too, Jason, they rob their fans. Like, their fans are fucking
totally
dumb. Like,
I told the guy this last year in Alcudia. I said last year in Alcudia, and I met the guy. Goes, "I'll give you this lounge room. You're a Celtic fan." I said, he goes, "Reckon we'll give you a push this season." I said, "Well, see how it goes." He goes, it'll be good." And I was like, I said, "Can I be honest?" I said, "I think you're being robbed."
Yep.
I said, "I think they're robbing you." Right?
And
he was like, "He's disgusted." And I was like, "You're being robbed, man."
Well, I'll tell you a couple of things, right, that I do know for a fact. So basically, they're playing at Hampden, right? And they're not allowed to employ any Ibrox staff because Hampden have them out of barrel, right? So basically, it's all Hampden staff that work at all Rangers games now at Hampden. But they've got staff that's on contracts. I know some of them would have been 0-hour contracts or whatever. I don't know if I get done away with. Maybe it did get done away with. I'm not entirely sure. But they've got staff that's actually on the payroll that work at Ibrox that are still getting paid as well.
Mm.
So they have to pay all the Hampden staff. All the catering is Hampden. None of the catering's going to them. Everything is Hampden. And they seemingly, well, I don't know how true this is because I didn't watch the game. I seen obviously snippets of it. Seemingly they're saying there was 39,000 at the game the other night, but somebody told me there was 26,000 at the game.
It was on Twitter. It was on Twitter. One of them in the know things had it on. There was 26,000. That wee guy, the wee Rangers vlogger, who looks like a wee fucking mini Methodist minister.
Steely.
No, he's not. It's not Steely. He's a wee kid, but he talks like a Methodist minister.
Oh, the Mormon guy.
And exactly, and he turned his fucking camera around the stadium just during the match, and I'm not kidding you. The place was fucking empty. There was not one full section, none. The Huns, the Celtic section was sparse, but so was the fucking Rangers end. Like, there wasn't that many people there. I'd say maybe 30,000.
So they needed 31,000 through the gate to break even.
Yep. So they'd be lucky breaking even.
So, and here's the thing. See the Mora, their game kicks off at 5:45 on a Saturday night. I'm going to put the telly on to watch that because I reckon that place will be fucking deserted. And you know what? This is the time that they could start deserting in their droves. Because we all know what they're like. You know, they always had this dream that they would get it back, and they were just on the verge. And then when Clement came in, and loads of them are thinking Clement's now fucking leading the high jump, and if they turn on them and they start, I mean, if you go back to the 80s, right? Even it was Celtic, Aberdeen, and Dundee United like challenging for all the titles. The crowds they were getting were fucking talking about sparse, you know, and a lot of them won't buy into this, you know, as a long term. Like if Rangers,
but here's the thing, Jason. Right, that match 3 days ago, that was their key. If they had to get through that game, like they had a decent result away, they just needed to get through that one game, and the bastards didn't turn up. And you're like, we sold out Murrayfield. The time we had to do it. Like, what the fuck the hell? Like, you know, it's there's just that sort of cloud around it, that horrible atmosphere where they're just expecting everything to go wrong. And if it was Celtic fans, people are trying to rouse it up and fucking whatever else, but they just don't seem to want to fucking have a part in it at all.
Different mentality for us, because we were all that's the old rebel bit for us, right? They don't have that rebel bit in them. No. And it's a different mindset, and it'll be interesting to see the Mora. See if you look at that crowd, and it's fucking, you know.
But you know what I mean? That was their one chance the other night. £40 million in the bank, taking money out of our pockets and helping themselves, and they couldn't even muster a crowd. Like, what? I was honestly amazed. I don't know whether or not maybe they thought maybe they thought they were going to win the match and that they didn't have to turn up because they had a decent result away.
Nah, but see, to be honest with you, they were favourites to win the game. And let's face it, if they'd won that game, you've got either FC 20 or Red Bull Salzburg. And you're saying, who actually won out they two? I knew it was a draw near the end.
I think
who actually came through?
Hold on, I check. I don't know.
Actually, it was going to be Salzburg, but I think 20.
I was too busy fucking laughing. I was too busy laughing at them to see the other results.
But see, to be honest with you, with their team, you would actually think they would have had a good chance of beating either of those two.
100%. Well, they have a chance. I mean, right, FC 20 Salzburg. Salzburg went through 5-4 in aggregate. It was a 3-3 draw. You know what I mean? So that's my whole point is that was their one. If you were saying to them one game this year, you must be at. It's this one fucking game. Get us through into the qualifiers. Give us a fucking chance. So, as I say, I don't know whether or not it's a general malaise about the place or whether it was actual hubris where they were just thinking, fuck it, we're going to win, we don't need to go.
Well, I think the full thing with the Chinese steel and all that kind of stuff and nobody in Ibrox and everyone's just fucking culminating and losing the plot.
The other thing was Jason, was they're back in court yesterday over that fucking elite deal.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, surely the fuck at some point they're going to be looking in the administration again and dumping their debt. Because it would seem to me a fucking very sensible way of doing it. You know what I mean? Just dump your debt, stiff every cunt again. It's a new company, so it's not the same. It's not the same fucking company that done it before. It's surely the God that has to be on the cards, because their crowds aren't turning up. They're playing double. Instead of having match day income, they have an extra match day outgoing. They can't fill their own ground, and they're paying, as you say, they're paying all these fees for the fucking place they're squatting in. Like, it must be costing them fucking absolute buckets. Buckets of dough.
Unbelievable.
And there's no, you know what I mean? They're not going to be back in that ground before, probably before December or something. Like, we all saw that wee video around the other day. The place looks like it's been bombed.
And by the way, see what we're needing now is right. See the project manager for the Chinese steel thing to be his name is Sean O'Callaghan.
No,
Sean
his name is Fin Yun.
Hate Hun. It's funny, I swear to God.
I call Hun delay Spanish fucking guy.
You think you can't laugh at these cunts anymore, and then there's everything emerges just fucking and this fucking French cunt or Belgian cunt has been completely found out.
But the cherry on top, Marty, this week, the cherry on top, it's been put in the chat and I had it on my list, is the marketing manager. He got sacked up the 2 days.
Blaine McConnell, what the fuck?
Hired a marketing manager, turns out to be a massive Tim who worked for Celtic.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
But going back to football, like, their football's atrocious, their players are shit, their managers are nut. He's a fucking nutcase. Like, see that Todd Cantwell thing where he came out and did the whole fucking thing about Todd Cantwell? What the fuck was he doing? What was he doing? And he's on again today moaning that he has to sell. How are you going to sell when you're running down your own players that you need to get rid of? You can't get off the thing. And I listened to that Heart and Hand podcast yesterday, and it was just flat. You know what I mean? The two of them just sounded fucking totally depressed. Like, they weren't even really going overboard about it. But what they were saying was, again, they've had to overpay for players to come, and that's fine if it's the right player. But if it's not the right player, you're absolutely fucked. You know, you've Anas Hadji. Fucking Hadji's wee lad. They can't afford to play him. Well, if he plays, he was
just reading that today.
He was on fucking saying, "I'm staying here to fight for my place." But if they play him in one more league game, he has to get a pay raise and haven't got it. Like, what the fucking fuck is going on? That's fucking insane. Our league, see us winning the league last year, that could be the nail in our coffin. It has just led to all this. You know, it really has.
But see, take a step back. See if they had any brains, they would just go and give Derek McInnes double his wages, what he's getting at Kilmarnock, and say, come in here and just do what you have to do.
And instead of doing that, Jason, what did they do?
They went and get Philip Clement because he's the guy that'll take them to the promised land.
And then what did they do there last week or 2 weeks ago? They gave Philip Clement a fucking contract extension and upped his wages.
They're absolute lunatics.
Did you see Graham Souness the other day on that Talksport?
He's clinically insane, by the way.
I know, but see what he was saying, Jason. It was fucking spot on. What he was saying was he was involved in helping to find the manager. They must have went to him saying, "Look, can you fucking help us out here, or can you talk to somebody?" And he said, "I was talking to these people who run Rangers, and they haven't a fucking clue." He actually said that. He said there's no football brains among them.
Well, I didn't hear any of that. But why is he always backing them up, saying they've got a chance?
Your man Simon Jordan was torturing him, absolutely torturing him. But that's what he said about the people who are running Rangers. He says they haven't a clue. There's no football people among them. He says John Gregg's there, and he wanted to say something like John Gregg's half dead, but he sort of just said John Gregg's there, and he's half. Well, he wouldn't be very much involved in the day-to-day now, but he's the only person there who knows anything about football. You know, and it's true. Like you can see, if all these wee Glasgow businessmen running about fucking taking over chairs and CEO positions and stuff, fucking, and in the meantime we have a billionaire, a real billionaire.
I heard the rumour, right? I don't know, Marty, you would maybe know this, right? But I heard the rumour. See when they played at Tynecastle, see that guy? Can you ever remember a guy who phoned in Radio Clyde? Or he phoned in somewhere and they were slating him, and he says, "I'll tell you what I'm a fucking millionaire." Like some Rangers fan, he's like, "I could fucking buy and sell you." I can't remember what it was. Was it Real Radio or something he phoned in? There was some guy, a big blue-nosed businessman from Glasgow, right? But anyway, that boy, seemingly when they played at Tynecastle, he'd 100 tickets. So they only had like 530. He'd 100 of them.
How the fuck did he get them?
Right, well, because obviously he's well in with the bricks, and whoever's running the club, they've just fucking handed him them.
Well, he's probably give them a markup, and then he'd probably punt them on at a fucking premium for himself.
No, I wouldn't think that. He'd just pass them on to his mates or whatever. But it just shows you what kind of car crash a football club there.
Oh, it's fucking serious. Like, I mean, it's absolutely. There's no everywhere they go, every option they have is bad. Do you know what I mean? It's like what's the least worst way to go here? And I tell you what, they're lucky. I actually think they're lucky that they don't have any fans coming here next week or 2 weeks, because if we give them as a major doing, they would wreck a place and fucking batter each other probably.
I don't think they would. I think they would just start bleeding and walk out.
No, the penny strap. I think the penny strap.
Listen, I'm going to get a pee and back to it.
I do think like that they have now figured out. Oh fuck! This has gone full Tim Pat. Like
every day there's something else. You're just going like, what the fucking hell? This place is crazy. You know, when he's banned players and then saying I can't play them till October. And then there was a fucking video the other day of one of them, your man Danilo. Did you see him hobbling out?
Did you not hear the response to that though in the interview?
He says that's just the way he walks.
And immediately I went, this guy's probably going to drop a rap album soon.
He walked like Fraser fucking Susie and the fucking in that fucking film, whatever the fuck it's called, The Usual Suspects.
Apparently there was some social media fucking investigation. Apparently he does walk like that, and I was like,
maybe that's why I can't play football. You take one look at the cunt and go, what the fuck?
This guy's got one leg shorter than the other, right? Fucking hell.
Fucking mental. Absolutely mental.
You hope that Aberdeen have you hope Aberdeen can keep up the good start they've had to the season and challenge for that second spot, you know, and they've brought in some good players. They brought in some boy from Troyes, is that how you pronounce it, from France, who
Troyes. Twat.
I was going to say twa, but then I thought I'd sound like a fanny. I probably did. He signed from Man City for $9 million in 2019.
Fucking hell. And here, Thielen, your man Thielen seems like he has a wee bit about him too. He seems to have them well organised and all as well.
And if they can get that, if they can convince Duke to get out his strop and come back, he's something in him, but I can't see that happening now. But you hope that
it looks like they're going to get $7 million from Miovski, so I'm assuming that
he's done. He's gone. He's officially
gone. He's officially gone. It was 6.5, was it? Well, there.
Plus add-ons or something.
Add-ons. Yeah. When was that?
He was on field yesterday.
Yesterday, that's a fucking pity. I took him. So
he's a good player.
No, it's a fucking shame.
But I hope Aberdeen do well and can keep it up. And they should.
My point there was like a couple of decent players coming in, maybe $1 million each, or they could do that. They could bring in a player who would elevate them above.
Yeah, they signed another guy. They signed another guy that is apparently a decent player as well yesterday, I think it was. In fact, two more. I think they signed two. The second Miovski went out the door. I think they brought in two guys that are apparently like decent standard.
Hell, they are.
Yep. And then Tony Watt went back to Motherwell yesterday.
I saw that.
Did he?
I saw that.
On loan.
Yeah, the But the thing is too is that you really need to elevate the whole of Scottish football. Like it's all right us being streets ahead of them and all, but you want all those other teams doing well.
Yep.
Pumping. And David Gray's obviously at Hibs, they've had a shaky start, but I would imagine they'll come good because they didn't look too bad from what I saw on the.
But who was your man that was on loan at Aberdeen a few years ago? And is it Madison?
He was at Leicester with Rodgers.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
even get a few more of those type of boys into the game. I think.
Fucking right. Put bums on seats. Because you want to see good football. At the end of the day, yes, we want to see Celtic doing well and winning, but you don't want us to win 7-0 every week. I mean, you do want to see a better standard of football. It's going to be more beneficial to us when we play in Europe. And I'm not advocating whether I want us to do a travel every year, but you don't want it to be just fucking you know what I mean? It's like,
as rubbish as Scottish football is, as it's proclaimed to be, it brings a lot of good drama, and I think it's definitely keeps you busy. Keeps you busy.
And I think Jason's often made the point that proportionally, it's one of the best supported leagues in the world.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? In terms of people who actually go and pay and watch the fucking thing, so you want them to be entertained when they come. And like there's the Huns are playing St Johnstone tomorrow. St Johnstone won 3-0 last week. These fuckers need to watch out. They could be out of another. They only cup the fucking hole of them out. They could be out of it tomorrow. Fingers crossed they are. Because I don't think any teams are afraid of them. I think all teams are going to have a go at them.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, they've turned on. I was listening to one of their phone-ins the other day, and they've absolutely turned on that wee lad Ross McCausland. Fuck me.
Uberhun.
That's what I was just about to say. The fact that he's absolutely one of them is not saving him. They fucking flayed him on one of the things I was listening to the other day. Ooh. Fuck me, you were calling him a fucking cartoon footballer and all that sort of stuff.
Well, he does look like a cartoon character.
That's what they were saying.
I like that one-on-one the other day that Scott had with Mark when they were talking about like collectively coming together and putting ideas to like improve the Scottish football kind of experience.
100%.
I thought that was a good idea.
Ticket prices and all too. All that.
Yeah.
It was a really good chat for anybody who hasn't. Anybody listening, go and listen to the one-on-one with Scott and Mark Strachan. Very, very good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they start with the football. The two of them are football daft, so it was heavy-duty football stuff at the start, but they strayed into lots of different areas after that, and it was really, really good listen.
Yep. That's what you need. I believe in fan. I'm a big fan. I told you last time about what I think of podcasts and stuff, and I think, I say this every time I talk about this to my mates and that, but I'd be getting some of those guys that do these Celtic podcasts in there to and do something official with them. Honestly, I think it's such an untapped resource, and I'm not saying they're all good. Some of them are absolute wahoos, but I think there's some guys in there.
Yes, that's the HomeBhoys, Marty. Yes,
the HomeBhoys, the number one go-to for all sensible chat about football.
Listen, we are not the captains of the ship of sensible, Marty.
led by Sleepy Jason.
As long as one shutter is up, Marty, everything's good.
That's it. I laughed at fucking Mark Strachan saying that he watched our preseason games to try and see Jason sleeping on the TV.
I know.
That's devotion for you.
Excuse me. I've got an illness here, hemochromatosis, right? And I think it's not been spoke about enough.
You're a fucking alcoholic. After showing me a cunt, you don't even me accent. I'm drunk with you.
I think you guys are actually.
Does that hemi-temi-tb?
We'll start a GoFundMe for you.
Does that hemi-temi-tb get worse with 4-day benders?
It does.
Well, it doesn't fucking help it, I can assure you.
So no, the better Scottish football is, then the better it is for us. The more our profiles raised, the more chance you've got better players coming, the more chance those smaller clubs get better investments and all that sort of stuff, and then the more chance they have of putting it up to the fucking Huns. And if you look at the time they were in the league, like St Johnstone did well, and so Aberdeen did well. There was different teams winning cups and stuff. That's a fucking good thing. You know,
I love when it gets referred to as a farmers league. It always gives me a chuckle.
By the way, see when you look back as well. See the first weekend. See the Dundee derby. I watched that game back. Obviously, I was at the game, so I missed it. And what a fucking game it was! The atmosphere with the crowd and everything, fucking class.
But I have to say, too, Jason, one of my most favourite games of football is the Edinburgh derby. I wouldn't miss it. It's fucking every year. It's brilliant. Well worth a watch.
The standard of football in that game is rubbish, but it's great drama and it's great.
Exactly. But that's I always make that argument too with sport in general, right? So my sport, Marty's hurling. I'm a hurling fanatic here in Ireland, and I always say what you want in a perfect hurling match is two teams that are well matched. It doesn't matter if they're elite well matched or shite well matched. See, as long as you've got a good competitive team and the two teams aren't murdering each other, you always get a brilliant game. Lots to watch, lots to talk about. Very interesting. This year's All-Ireland final, the hurling final, was everybody was saying was the best ever final, and I was going, but that's why, because the two teams were just so well matched. They weren't, not one team wasn't head and shoulders above the other one. So I think there's a lot to be said for that in football. Just two teams. Like half them English Premiership matches is totally unwatchable. I had the fucking Man United match on the other night. You know what I mean? Fuck's sake, just could have been watching fucking anything.
But do you know? See the point you make here? Because see on our group chat, right? Harper and Liam were talking about that Real Madrid Atalanta Super Cup game, saying it was like watching FIFA, how Real Madrid were that good and they were laughing and stuff. I would have no interest in watching that. I would rather watch a Dundee derby. I'd rather watch an Edinburgh derby. Or I've got to the stage now that, see, the only English football I watch is when Everton are playing, because I've got an interest in it. And I don't watch it at all. And it's like, I realise, like I get the fact if you're wanting to watch beautiful football, and obviously I'll watch the Euros and I'll watch the World Cup, etc., right? And maybe see it there. But see, as club teams, see if I've not got an interest in the club, like even the Champions League final, obviously you would turn into it, right? But if I've not got an interest in any other club, or I'll put a bet on it, if I've got a bet on it, I could watch it. But I've got no interest in watching the games, but I would watch Scottish football because I'm genuinely passionate about Scottish football.
I can't watch Champions League anymore. I find it. I don't.
I stopped watching that a long time ago, Marty.
Can't watch it.
I watch the final.
A final, yeah. Watch a final, and that's about.
No, that's not for me. No, I watched that. As I say,
20 years ago, I watched everything. Like 18 years ago, I watched all of it. It was amazing. See now, well, yeah, finals enough.
But I watched that match the other night that Jason was talking about. Real Madrid are like a different fucking sport. But Atalanta were brilliant. They were actually really good. Their defense was excellent, but you just couldn't fucking hold out to Madrid. Madrid, like, it was like watching a swarm of flies playing fucking football.
Aye. I watched the Athletic game last night. They drew one each with Getafe, right? And Getafe had only 17 fit players and 3 of them were goalies. But they fucking played well. Aye, they played well, but see at the end, what a header. The Athletic missed a fucking sitter. Guy had a shot, goalie parried it out. Ball went up in the air, guy just jumps up and tries to place it at the side of the post and fucking headers it by the post. And then Athletic fucking had a stonewall penalty in the last minute. Fucking nothing. And you know the thing is, see when you go and watch games in La Liga, I've been to games earlier while VAR's been in. VAR, the only thing VAR does is offsides. see challenges in the box, see anything else, it's the referee. VAR does not come in. And did you not notice in the Euros as well? Very rarely did VAR come in and do anything apart from offsides.
Yeah, and it wasn't, and you weren't watching video of offside. It was just like done, cleared, let's go.
Aye. And see, to be honest with you, I would rather that's what VAR was, because the VAR in Scotland is a fucking shambles. I mean, games getting stopped for fucking 3 minutes every fucking 25 minutes or whatever. Just absolute shite. But see, the way they do it in La Liga is the way I would want it to be done. Because although you're raging at times, it doesn't really affect the game. It's like the referees made the decision, it's no penalty, go on with it. And they keep replaying it in the telly, but the referee's not going back to it. The game's still flowing. And it doesn't really affect the game. So it's much more like you don't have, like, see in England as well. England, when goals are scored, there's a big wait, and there's a VAR check. In La Liga, nah, it's like the goal's in, on you go. You know, if it's like a dodgy thing, offside is the one thing that they will always check. And if it's offside, but it's quick as a flash, they tell you it's not a goal. And I would like that to be, but I don't think Scotland's got the technology. I think we've got fucking VAR fucking stroke 3 or something. Whatever we've got, it's no as equipped to deal with stuff like that. But I think our referees, but obviously, see the first couple of games of the season, it's looking better. Because I don't think, I know the ones that mob were playing first game of the season, we thought there could have been a penalty or something like that when they played Hearts. I was actually quite happy that it wasn't, in a sick sense, that if that's the way the referees are going to go now, I like that, because it hit the boy's hand, but he didn't really mean it.
Did you hear Willie Collum a few weeks ago when he was on Sports Sound talking about?
No, I didn't.
As much as I think he's an absolute fan, it was a really good listen, and he came across well, talking about how he's been, in constant communication with a bunch of the players and managers, and they want to do it. Apparently, they were trying to do that thing that they were doing at the Euros as well, where only the captain can talk to the ref. So you should go back and look at it. It was only like 15 minutes he was on for, and I know it's Willie Collum and you probably don't want to listen to that, but it was a good insight into how he's approaching it this season.
I think they've definitely changed mindset. So hopefully that's going to be through the board, because some of the penalties we gave away last year were shocking, but hopefully it's going to be kind of standardised to be less reliant on getting into the minuscule detail of VAR saying, fucking hell, that guy's left pinky touched the ball.
Here, we're saying this and we're debating this night, and there's the fucking Huns looking for brought in for yellow cards. or referees with yellow whistles.
So here's the thing, a good mate of mine watched the game. I didn't watch the game, and he told me, he says the boy should have been booked twice after he got the first yellow card.
That's what he was done for. He was done for persistent fouling. It wasn't the fact that he fucking.
You can't do that. Everyone's got to be treated in isolation. That's no. But obviously, it's probably in the back of the referee's mind. But see when you look at it from a certain angle, there's an angle that I sent to John and Joe. There's an angle looks like he's totally elbowed the guy, but another way, doesn't he?
Exactly.
From the referee's point of view, it looks like a total elbow.
That's what I'm saying. I had no problem with it. And if he was, and the other cunt as well, it was subbed. That was the problem with the one who got sent off. The Huns didn't sub him quick enough. But there was another one who'd already been booked, and they had to take him off. Fucking cunt.
Aye, so they get rid of the ball. Because obviously it was an accident waiting to happen. But
I thought one of them was going to get sent off for both. Maybe they end up being down the fucking name mill.
Good night, be Anna.
That's it. Listen, I'm going to have to bounce off, boys, because there's my wee man standing at the door.
We're almost done anyway. It's fucking 20 past 2 hours. Can Can I just?
Have you got a limit on this one, Joe?
No, I'm just knackered.
All right.
It's one more thing to laugh at in the Huns. I forgot what it was though. My brain's gone.
Is that much? Fuck me.
Aye, but they're all fucking day.
That's the best part of it, though.
Racking his fucking brain. Fuck, I wouldn't take long, Jason. Fuck that hell.
No.
Fuck shit.
No, so on the list, there's fuck all left.
Marty, it was great having you on again tonight, mate. I must say.
Hey, speaking to you, Marty. Pleasure, mate. I love coming on. Good way to kill when it's free time.
I'd like to fucking send my condolences to the state of Croatia, which is currently being drunk dry by Scott McCoy.
Fucking hell.
I know. Should
have got mine drunk.
He'd be drinking the Adriatic if he fucking if he's stuck.
I'll be absolutely boiling over now.
Did you see his video, J-Wo? Did you see his video?
No.
Check the chat.
HomeBhoys
check
chat.
The chat.
Him and his mate recreated the the Hun Tears meme that's going around to the guy with the wine glass. Right?
Aye.
Him and his mate recreated.
Scott did it. It's brilliant.
What's the weather like in LA the new, Marty?
I think it's a balmy 92 where I live. So that's a bit.
Has it? Aye.
90.
See me get into the coast. It goes a bit cooler, doesn't it? Santa Monica.
Aye, like Santa Monica, Venice will probably be like 70 right now, roughly. Right. You lose about 20 from because where I am heading up into Pasadena, you start to it gets higher towards the kind of mountains. So it's always a bit hotter up here. But the good thing is at 8 p.m. it cools right down. As soon as the sun goes down, it gets a bit like desert weather.
Aye.
And then all the coyotes are out walking about the street and howling and all that kind of thing. So I definitely, even at this time of year, 8 o'clock, but like in the house, you have to sit and have the AC blasting. Like just.
I don't deal well with AC. Do you deal well with AC?
It's horrible.
I get sick.
I'm the same.
I was in Italy for 3 days in an apartment. There's like the AC was on. I was like, I'm fucking dying here.
I get sick every summer. I've been in that AC for. I lived in New York because you needed it in New York as well, and just messes you up, you know.
See, when I hear Santa Monica, right? Here's a mad story, right? I'll try and keep it succinct, right? When I was in Santa Monica once when I was 9 years old, right? So my ma had a kind of a wealthy American sort of uncle, right?
I thought you were going to say a wealthy American boyfriend.
And anyway, so he lived in Fremont, California, right?
Yep.
And when we were like 9, the dude had money, right? So he brought us over. We were like 9 to Fremont, brought us to San Francisco, drove us around. We ended up going down to LA, down to Disneyland in Anaheim, Marty, right?
Anaheim, yep.
So at that time, my dad's best mate, Mickey Tohol, right, was living in Santa Monica, right? So as part of the trip to LA, we're going, well, let's go get a taxi down to Santa Monica, meet Mickey and stuff. And Mickey being in West Belfast was hit my dad for 200 quid while he was there, right? Going there, fucking, I mean, and Mickey, so fast forward like fucking a number of years, right? Mickey winds up being Jim Sheridan's PA, right? And winds up being in the Name of the Father, and winds up going to the Oscars with Daniel Day-Lewis, right? In a fucking mad coincidence of events, right? But see when he lived in Santa Monica, right? His brother is, I don't want to say his name, right? Because that wouldn't be right. But his brother is a renowned sort of fucking West Belfast hard case, right? Proper guy. And when Mickey was living in Santa Monica, his brother flew over, unbeknownst to Mickey, turned up at the airport, LA, got a taxi, did a run in a taxi, robbed the gas station, and then turned up at Mickey's front door going, what's the crack? Let's go for the night. What the fuck are you doing here? He says, rob the gas station up the road. I got $500 cash. Let's go. And I, for the life of me, always think about a guy in Santa Monica at some gas station with some West Belfast maniac rocking up, going, give me the fucking money! And taking his money up and running. I was like, whenever I hear Santa Monica, all I think about is some poor fucking gas station attendant who was exposed to some West Belfast maniac who just got off a plane and goes, "I need money. I'm gonna rob this cunt."
Did they get caught?
No, he fucking didn't. He flew back.
Jesus.
Fucking every time I hear that, I always think, I start the man going like, "That poor bastard."
You don't get any of these stories in any other fucking Celtic podcast, I'll tell you.
Groundbreaking.
Marty, did we cover the man then fucking me and you?
Marty's gone.
No,
I'm here. Sorry.
No, Marty Fashion was talking. Mind the last time you were on, did we cover the man? Liam will pull me up for this because he listens to every word of every fucking podcast. And I probably, you'll remember because you were probably half sober. But see that the Fenerbahce game away in Istanbul?
We talked about it a few years ago. Remember, we were talking about it on a Twitch, not a Twitch. We'd done a Twitter or something ages ago. We talked about it.
But the podcast wouldn't have heard that because it's only photos on the Twitter.
Oh right. Anyway, Joe, me and Jason, Joe, my brother, bunches went to Istanbul, and it was the 2015 game. I think it was.
I remember this,
and it was during the time that Istanbul was being properly bombed. Like there was bombs like every other day. So a lot of people, including a bunch of my mates, shat it to come on the trip, shall we say? And there was Jason, Joe, me, my brother, and a bunch of other boys that go on our bus. And we all went. Absolute cracking time, brilliant. Go to the game, half time. We're getting beat 1-0, I think. Game was crap. Well, let's beat it. Let's go to a bar and we'll watch the second half. So we all head out. Because
we checked with the steward and said to the stewards, how long are we getting kept in there? Like 1 hour after the game. We're like, fuck that.
So we left, I think, 10 minutes into the second half or something. We a bunches left. We walked over a motorway. We couldn't find our way. Got lost. Seen a bar. Said to the guy, "Can we come in and watch it? No trouble." The guy's like, "Cool." We go upstairs. So that's
you went upstairs.
Aye, a bunch of us went upstairs. Jason and Joe, I think, stuff are downstairs. Chris Commons equalises, and we all go fucking mental. Whole place goes silent. Turn her in, and we're about to get chopped up like kebabs. And we end up fucking a bit of commotion down the stair. Thinking, oh, here we go. Fucking surrounded all these guys, and we had, I think Jason had spoke to the owner, and the owner basically seen all the dollars leaving his bar if we left the bar. Managed to go and fucking talk the young Turkish lads out of it, and they were all shaking their hands. And then thankfully, because I think it could have went pretty wrong for us. Full bar. I had no idea. Like Chris Commons scored, we all just started going absolutely nuts.
Did one no chuck you down the stairs?
No, he wanted to chuck me down the stairs.
The next thing I've seen you landed on my feet.
We kind of the commotion ended up on the stairs, and he wanted to throw me down the stairs, but we kind of get down the bottom of the stairs, and the commotion continued until the bar owner basically told the guy, "That's a good bit of money about to walk out the door," and everything was fine. And there was, I think, a couple of handshakes maybe at the end, but I didn't want to get involved in that with the Turks, that's for sure.
But they were ready to rock, were they?
Oh, they were ready to go.
Fuck, we walked in the pub, and the game was still going on, and the full pub was Fenerbahce. Yep. Because you got to realise we're on the Asian side of the Bosphorus.
Yep.
So everybody there supports Fenerbahce. So it's not like you can get in, it was a Galatasaray pub or that, and one you win. So every person in the place was supporting. Because they told the Celtic gave all the instructions out to everybody.
Don't go anywhere, eh? They said.
Everybody has to sign the European side, and we'll bus you in. We're like, fuck that.
No chance. The Asian side was amazing. I loved the Asian side.
It was outstanding, wasn't it? The food and everything was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. We had a couple of problems in that trip. They're just like stupid wee things. Like these young teenagers was trying to start shit with us as well. They kind of were trying to rob us, and then like I came pretty close to end up banjoing one of them because if they followed us like all the way up to this pub, and they were just becoming annoying. But they were so young, you couldn't hit them. But Just like there's a lot of wee widos kicking about everywhere, trying to get money off you and stuff. But no, I love the Asian side. It was brilliant.
And mind all the chaos started before the game.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get his own buses, and I ended up the spokesman for the Celtic supporters, and I'm like, look, we're not going to own the buses unless you get us 22 cases of beer, because they were wanting us to get in 3 hours before the game started.
Right,
and like 22 cases of beer, and like, oh, we can't do that. I said, well, fuck off then. And the next thing, fucking all kicked off. They all come down with flares and all that, and it just went chaos. So we went back to our hotel. So everybody was jumping taxis. Me and our Joe were the last two. So we get a taxi at the two. Tell the boy to take us to the game. So he dropped us off outside the game, and as you said, they walk over the motorway. But I don't know. Did you have to walk or run over the motorway to get into the game?
I don't remember that part. I just remember the coming out, climbing over it to go to the pub or something.
Well, we had to. Me and Joe get dropped off at their boozers, and you get off, and it was like fucking being in like fucking Marbella. It was like palm trees and all that, and all these cracking bars and everything. It was absolutely beautiful. So we walked into this bar and just walked in, and my mate Crispy Hamilton and Peter Ross were in the same pub. I was like, fucking hell. And they went in. So when I'm got a couple of pints and loads of tucks all on about us, it was all right. None of us had any colours on. And this tuck came up to me and says, you have to leave. I was like, how? He's like, it could be dangerous here for you. The guy was all right, to be fair. He was giving us the fucking tip. Yep. And I was like, it's all right, we'll just drink this beer and we'll go. He says, no, it could be dangerous. So I'm like, how the fuck can we get out of this? And a few guys will start rumbling, and I was like, then I remember Graham Souness used to manage Galatasaray. I was like, fuck you, Graham Souness, fuck you. Next thing, the full pub's bouncing, fuck you, Graham Souness. Okay, everybody's getting loud. We're like, oh, fucking, here we go, we're in there.
That's
so,
brilliant.
fucking sitting there, the guy comes back out and says, you still have to leave. I was like, all right. So me and Joe scudded to beer, and then we went out and we seen a copper. I met fucking Andy McStay walking about fucking Blotto as well. And anyway, we seen a copper and said to him, the away section, he says, you cannot get in, you have to be in a bus. I says, where is the away section? He says, round there. He says, you have to cross a motorway. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Yeah. So me and Joe went round, had to fucking climb over this wall, and then it wasn't like a motorway, like fucking 80 mile an hour they were all doing, but it was a right fast road outside the Grun. And me and Joe just waited. It was hanging, then we ran across the road.
Fucking wish a wall climbers, what?
Aye. So we gets up to the stadium, Joe, right? Gets up to the stadium, and it was like the Holy Grail. See the bit when they're like, are you the castle of Louis Lamont? No, the hangman is like, who are you, you English bedwetting types? So we fucking...
I fucked in the kind direction.
Aye. So there was no turnstiles or anything, right? The only way you get into their away end is by bus. So they open the hang up and the buses all come in because of the trouble over there. So you get in and you get off your bus and you're actually inside the stadium. So me and Joe are like banging on the door. And this guy's looked out above us. Hello? We're like, he didn't say hello. He said something in Turkish. And then we're like,
he said hello in Turkish.
Aye. So he's like, we went in. He's like, oh, okay. So next time he's come down and opened the door, and he's took me and Joe through all these fucking, this warren we had to walk through all the way upstairs and all that. And I don't even think we showed them our ticket or anything. And let us in. And then we got into the Celtic again. And then that was that. So
my best Joe Jason story, it's actually more Joe, was a game in Barcelona years ago, maybe 2008, one of those times we played them 100 times. I was late and getting into the stadium, maybe like 6 or 7 minutes. I'm walking in, and who do I see walking out? Joe, spewing everywhere, fucking off-ski, 6 minutes into the game. Barcelona in the Nou Camp. Joe, everywhere.
Per Joe Higgins gets a bad rap on this podcast, and I think it's unfair. I'm a firm fan.
He deserves every last bit. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He
deserves a lot.
He's the funny, in my opinion, Marty. He's the funniest brother.
He's the nicest brother.
100%.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yes.
That's the last euro on you, cunt.
Yes. If he's a grains of wood, he'd be planed.
He was adopted. Let's put it that way.
You don't look alike.
Fuck's sake. Anyway,
you ever see him try to play snooker?
Here's the truth, right? I used to fucking stay in your Joe's gaff and I used to go for games, right? Nice domesticated. And I asked him, me and him had a bit of a quiz on like what's a root snooker. Turns out neither the two of us know what the fuck's going on snooker. Right? And I was like, well, at least that's something we can share. That's something in common. Hey, I know the rules when I'm watching the game because the guy on TV is telling me what's happening.
There you go.
I think Joe's the
There
same.
you go. Joe's a top man.
Told you.
He's actually got to Turkey next week, following enough.
Fuck, he's leaving the country. Wow.
Right.
I've got him. I'm doing a wedding party for my wedding that was earlier this year in Glasgow this year. And Joe's DJing at it. That's his gift to me.
So what date?
The night before we play United, December 20th. There's an invite for you, mate. I need to get it over to you.
We are now live. We are now live talking about fucking dates and fucking things and people.
Wedding dates, mate. This is how.
I know. So I have an idea about taking this offline because we're now 2 hours and 34 minutes.
I've got one last story, Joe. I've got one last story for you.
Please, Marty. Close it out with a banger.
I'll end on a good one, mate.
Before you tell it, right? I think any listeners that listen to us will remember the last time Marty was on the podcast when he was talking about weddings. Marty was actually on the podcast talking away, happy as Larry, for about 2 hours and says, "Look, boys, I need to boost. I'm getting married tomorrow." And we were like, "What the fuck?"
It was a courthouse wedding. It wasn't a big deal.
But you sent us the photos to confirm that you weren't talking shit.
I know. See when you say courthouse wedding, though, Marty. See people like over on this side of the pond. They think that sounds like shotgun. They're like, "Fuck, this guy's just getting married on the fly."
No,
it was in Beverly Hills. It was nice.
I did see the picture. The
actual little. I'm not going to bore. I've fucking probably bored people already. So.
You know what? I didn't know you were a handsome bastard until that picture.
Oh, there we go. Right, I'll finish off on this quick story. Jason, Jason's asked me to share this story. So this might upset some Celtic fans, and I should be upset myself, but I don't care. I play in a game every Wednesday night at Rod Stewart's house in Beverly Hills. He's got the big Celtic badge. He's got the really good 5G or whatever it is, Astrograss. It's on green. There's Celtic badges everywhere. Celtic strips everywhere. Celtic badges every day. It's whatever your opinion is on him. It's a pretty decent game to be involved in. To be honest, some real random people show up to play in the game every week. It's been going for the game apparently has been going every week for about 25 years. It started at Robbie Williams' house and get moved to Rod Stewart's house. It's fucking weird. It's weird. I just rock up to his house.
Fucking superb, man.
It's weird. I rock up to his house. I know the code to get in his gate. I go in and play football. Weird.
Yes.
It's a very strange experience. I'm used to it now, but it was a weird experience the first few times.
Have you scored?
Is he playing it all the time?
What's that?
Is he playing it all the time?
No, he doesn't play anymore. He's not. He's been in the UK for most of the last year, to be honest. He's not been. We've seen what's his wife's name? Is it Penny? Penny. We've seen her a few times. She's been there, but he's apparently been in the UK. Like I only started playing maybe like 9 months ago. But again, the game has been going for a long, long time, and it's random. It's a lot of musicians playing it. A lot of like famous musicians that are in LA or whatever.
Well, then here's a question. Without naming names, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Have you crunched anybody decent?
No, but I've had a decent one. I've had a decent one in my team. There was in a teammate because the teams change every week.
Right.
But like, some of the guys have been playing in this game for 25 years, and I always like to ask them, who's played in this game? And I'm like, name me somebody, and I'll tell you. it's all the big English actors have played in it, essentially. Like everyone you can think of it, you know.
Start naming them. Keep the names.
No, you can't name anybody. That's not fair, right? That's not fair.
I've told a few. Obviously my mates are going to fucking rip me for even mentioning this story in the first place. But they've been teeing me up for this for a long time, so I don't care. A boy that was in my team a couple of months ago was good. The guy from the Foo Fighters, the bassist, Chris. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Chris something. I had no idea who he was. Played the whole game. And it was the next day, the boy that organises the game at Rod's house he goes to my gym, and he's like, "Oh, what did you think of your man? That boy you played alongside you last night?" Because I'm a mouthy. I'm pretty mouthy when I play. I'm not the best, but I can organise. So I just odd on this guy, probably like his mid-50s, around the whole day, and it turned out it was the guy from Foo Fighters, and there's me screaming at him, "Oh, get back, Mark man!" every 5 minutes, you know.
Fuck on your cunt.
I actually get in trouble every week for swearing. I swear too much when I play. It's a bad habit, to be honest. And I use the C word a lot when I play football, so I get it. Because I think one of Rod's daughters lives in the outhouse that looks over the pitch and the kids and stuff, and I'm always shouting the C word. I think a couple of the guys take it pretty serious, but you know, it's all like over 35, so you can't tackle, which is, I think, it's a good thing, to be honest, because you just end up with a broken leg playing football on a Wednesday night, you know.
So how often do you play this? Every week?
Every Wednesday. I have not played in a few weeks because it's been too hot, but I'm starting back next Wednesday in the game.
All right.
It's like
just as well that Tory bastard Rod's there. That's fucking amazing.
I was waiting on that.
That's not useful. That's not useful, right? That's why we need to close this podcast off, right now.
There we go. We'll go on that one, mate.
Marty.
Pleasure, Joe.
It sounds like an amazing experience for you to play on that ground. Have that experience, and good for you.
On the holy ground of Rod Stewart.
Fucking, there's no holiness about that, I can assure you.
What's his wee pal that if John McLaughlin turns up, that's when I quit. If he turns up, I'm off.
Why?
I can't stand that guy. The wee guy that always playing at his gigs. You know the guy I'm talking about, don't you?
I have no idea who it is, no.
Oh, remember he done this song with Jimmy Johnson and Shane McGowan years ago?
Dirty Old Town?
Aye.
Yep. He writes all the hits. He's actually on the Celtic FC podcast this week. He's a wee weirdo.
You know what?
To be honest with you, there's more time for him than I would have for fucking Rod.
See if you make it this far in the podcast, folks, and we are at almost 3 hours. You found out who the weirdos are.
Hey, that's that by the way, to be fair, that's a fucking very decent story for Marty boy there.
Oh.